And we are live. How's everybody doing tonight? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and you're watching and/or listening to ABL Live. Thank y'all for being here tonight. We got a whole lot going on all over the internets, all over mainstream media, all over television. And y'all could be almost anywhere in the world, but you're right here with me. So now I appreciate y'all for that. I'm not really sure where to begin. We got so much happening. 50 Cent endorsing Donald Trump. It wasn't a troll. It wasn't a fluke. He doubled and tripled down on it. Did you guys see the UK member of parliament destroy Black Lives Matter and critical race theory? Is it too late for the UK? Have they pretty much jumped the shark? Or is there hope still for the UK and for Western Europe in general? How about the US? I'm glad that Donald Trump said something about Anthony Fauci. Finally, it was about time he said something because somebody had to do it. If Trump didn't do it, then someone had to, for sure. That's a fact. There's so much going on. We're going to begin here pretty soon. But I thank y'all for joining. Let me see. 50 Cent does have a lot of sense. He has plenty of sense, much more than the average person on the left, in my humble opinion, especially those that are in politics. You know, you might not even like Trump. Even 50 might not like Trump for some reason, although we did before, it doesn't really matter. What matters the most is what can we do together? How can we work together? How can we make these things work? We'll talk about that and more on tonight's episode of ABL Live. And I appreciate y'all for being here. You guys are the best audience anywhere on the internets. Alrighty. And thank y'all for the super chats already. Here's a good one right here from Apu Bakr Alf Puff Daddy, who says, great video on the Biden laptop. ABL, love Jericho Green's reaction to that story too. Jericho was laughing so hard at how Hunter forgot to pick it up. Yeah. How do you forget to pick your laptop up? See, that's the whole thing. That's the incompetence part right there. You're so silly. You're so dumb. You don't even remember to pick your laptop up that has all kind of incriminating information on it. Like, what are we even doing? Let's think about it for a moment. All right. You on a laptop smoking crack. You got pictures of underage girls, allegedly on there. Maybe it'd be a good idea to not abandon your property. So the federales are able to get their hands on it. And now they got you all over the internet with your chest out and the crack pipe in your mouth and all type of stuff. I mean, it might have made a little bit of sense to have some, to think about what you're doing before you do it. That's all. Think about what you're doing before you do it. That's it. I mean, how hard can that really be? It shouldn't really be that difficult to think for a moment. But I thank y'all for being here. Yet again, you guys are the best audience anywhere on the internets. And that is for sure and for certain. All right. Matter of fact, let's talk about Hunter right quick. I think I'm going to get straight into Hunter because this is this is still going on. You got the mainstream media trying to hide the story. And the funniest part about this is that, okay, you got a few stories going on. Well, in the case of Hunter Biden, you got two stories going on, right? You have Giuliani as the guy that is exposing all of this, and the mainstream media are now trying to attack Giuliani for the Borat movie. Now, I'll explain what's going on with that, and I'll bring it on home to the whole Hunter Biden situation. Now, apparently back in June, now this is an old story. This is almost November. We're almost at election day here. We're at the end of October. You got Halloween candy and all type of stuff. You got orange, pumpkins everywhere, and Walmart and Target. You got Halloween decor. This story happened back in June, and it probably was recorded before June, right? But anyway, this happened back in June when the story came out that Giuliani was in a new Borat movie, or Sacha Baron Cohen, whatever his name is. And you know how Sacha Baron Cohen is just trying to attack Trump supporters by posing and trying to go to CPAC and just trying to embarrass people, right? So there was apparently a hidden camera set up or some kind of camera. I don't know what was going on in a hotel room where Giuliani was at with a young lady. Now, the young lady was not a child at all. She was some kind of news reporter or a person that was posing as a news reporter. Now, there's a picture floating around of Giuliani laying on the bed and his hands are like in his pants, or he's doing something with his pants, like lifting it up. It looks kind of compromising. But here's a couple of things straight from the beginning. Number one, if you got Giuliani in the room with an adult and she's cool with it, then there's no problem. All right. If you have two consenting adults and there's no problem at all, okay, it could have been a full on nasty tape in there with Giuliani and whatever adult is in there. If they consent, then it's fine, because that's all that really matters. Whatever you do in the privacy of your own home as an adult with another adult that's consenting, I don't care. That's your business, not my business. I don't need to see it. I don't need to know about it. That's whatever you do. But that picture is out on Twitter and there's no problem. Now, what I heard was that he was like trying to tuck his pants back in or like get his microphone out or something. I'm not really sure what was going on, but it was deceptively edited to make it seem like he was doing a thing that he was not doing, apparently, from what I've been reading. So it wasn't even what people thought it was. It just wasn't. Giuliani did not pull his situation out and do anything lewd at all. But the way the picture looks, you may think that he did that, but he didn't do it from what I've been reading. Okay. And I didn't see anything like that. So I would just presume that they're telling the truth, right? But they're putting that out there and saying, hey, you got your own sculptures in your closet. Don't try to attack Hunter Biden with this whole laptop thing. You're trying to smear Hunter Biden with the laptop. So they put that picture out there to say, oh, this is you. You did X, Y, and Z. All right. Twitter has that particular story about Giuliani, an old story now, all the way at the top of the trending list. It's been doctored. It's been edited deceptively, but they don't want to say that. They don't talk about, oh, this is deceptive footage. It's doctored. They don't put any kind of warning on it. The same way they do with memes. You know, remember, you might have seen the meme of Ice Cube and 50 Cent with Trump hats on. It was a clear Photoshop, but they put some kind of warning on that, talking about edited image. This is deceptive. Again, they put it at the top of their trending list, which is manually curated. If you go on Twitter and you see the trending topics list, all of that right there is manually curated. So they put it right there at the top to tell you that the picture is fake. But with Giuliani, he gets no such treatment. It's just out there and it's whatever. Now, with Hunter Biden, you got a whole story that has verified information in it that nobody says is false. You know, Hunter has not come out and said that it's false, nor has Joe Biden, nor has his wife, Jill. What do Jill and Joe say? Oh, this is a smear. How dare you attack my family? But they don't say that the emails are false or the pictures. Okay. And we know Hunter, AKA Robert, his name is Robert Hunter Biden. We know Robert Biden has a crack problem, or at least had a crack problem. At one point in his life, he was a crackhead, as Jesse Lee Peterson would say, a crackhead. We know that for sure. He was kicked out of the military because he popped positive for cocaine on a drug test in 2013. That's when a drug test happened. In 2014, he was kicked out. And also in 2014, he was on the board of Burisma Holdings like 6 months after the discharge. How did that happen? He was selling influence, according to what the emails say, that were captured on his hard drive. Okay. Nobody says that the emails are fake. Everybody verifies it. That means left, right, everyone. The left are just upset that the emails are being put out there and they're trying to silence it. Twitter actively was blocking the link to post that story from the New York Post about Hunter Biden. But yet Giuliani, oh, it's all good. They're trying to embarrass him for that. But then when it comes to one of their own guys, Jeffrey Toobin, did you guys hear about this guy? I won't get too explicit here. We got little babies watching. But Jeffrey Toobin is a, matter of fact, hold on, I got to get his name right just to make sure I'm not giving you guys no fake news. Yes, Jeffrey Toobin, Toobin. He's a CNN legal analyst, and he also, I think he writes for The New Yorker, the newspaper, The New Yorker. So anyway, this guy was on the Zoom call with some of his New Yorker colleagues and also some people from WNYC, the radio station. And during the Zoom call, he pulled his package out and began to do some things he shouldn't have been doing. Talking about, oh, I thought nobody could see me. Sir, what are you doing? Sir, okay, listen. You're on a Zoom call. Basically, you're at work. You're at home, but you're at work. You have a Zoom call going on. why would you do that right in front of the camera where people can see you? Now, if it was me, I would say, you know what, you probably did it on purpose. You probably, you probably got off on that and wanted to behave like, oh, I didn't know the camera is on. I didn't know they could see me. You cannot do stuff like that, all right? So I need you to stop with the lies, and I need Twitter to stop acting like, and also mainstream media to stop trying to bury that story about Jeffrey Toobin, who, by the way, wrote a book about how bad Trump is. He has a whole book out there. Matter of fact, this is no advertisement for this guy, obviously, but I'm going to see if I can find the book. Yeah, he has a whole book about Trump. Oh, yeah, this is it right here. And it came out this year. Matter of fact, it's called True Crimes and Misdemeanors, the Investigation of Donald Trump. Okay, so you got a whole book about how bad Trump is. You got a whole book about TDS, right? But you got caught on the Zoom call doing something strange you shouldn't have been doing. Something illicit. Like if you did that in a public park, you would get locked up immediately. All right. So I think the New Yorker suspended him for doing that. But we'll see what's going on. Anyway, they're trying to compare Giuliani to that guy. But no, Giuliani was in a private hotel room with another adult. Even if they did something in the room, it would have been fine if they were consenting. This guy, Toobin, was on the Zoom call with his co-workers and pulled it out. Sir, you cannot do that. Hunter Biden, you cannot smoke crack and have, some illegal pictures of 13-year-old, 14-year-old girls. You can't do that. We're talking about illegalities here. We're not talking about things you can do in the privacy of a hotel room or whatever if everybody's on the same page. So it's funny how the media, mainstream media, the Twitter mafia, the SJWs on social media in Silicon Valley, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, they'll suppress actual things people do that are wrong if they're on the left. But a thing that could be considered wrong, if you've seen it a particular way, that's not reality, they boost to the very top and they want to highlight. It's funny how that whole thing goes. But it is what it is. Oh, yeah, double standards. Hey, without double standards, left will have no standards. That's all that they have are double standards. And that's a fact. That's big time facts. So, yeah, crimes, exactly, bad protocol. What they did are actually crimes. For him to pull this thing out on a Zoom call, that might be a crime right there because it's called sexual harassment. Maybe it might even be called sexual assault. Because you're doing that without people's consent. I didn't want to see that, sir. If I'm on a Zoom call and I see that, then, that might be a criminal action against you. And also Hunter Biden with the cocaine, the crack, meth, whatever he's on, pictures of little girls. And then beyond the pictures in the crack with Hunter Biden, you have the emails that show some quid pro quo going on between him and Ukraine and China and Russia and his father, the then Vice President Joe Biden, the now presidential candidate for the Democratic Party. You got him going to Ukraine to strong arm Ukrainians and to relieving pressure off of Hunter Biden's company or the company that he worked for called Burisma Holdings, $50,000 a month. And it was an email that said, hey, we need your influence to get rid of this political pressure on our back. We need you to help us with what we got going on. And a short time later, it was done. All right. So those are the actual crimes rather than an adult being in a hotel room doing a thing with someone that is or, could have been consented. And it wasn't nothing done. Actually, it was a picture that looked a certain way that was not actually that way, talking about Rudy Giuliani. But that crack pipe in Hunter's mouth was most certainly a crack pipe in Hunter's mouth. Or maybe it was a meth pipe. Whatever it was most certainly used for drugs. He most certainly got popped for cocaine when he was in the military and got discharged. That did happen. That's not an accusation, an allegation. That's a thing that actually went down. It's recorded. Joe Biden even admitted it on stage at the debate. So that's what it is. But so Giuliani says there's a lot more on the laptop. He gave the laptop to Delaware State Police, if I'm not mistaken. But they gave it to the FBI. So I'm like, all right, the FBI already had it. So my question would be, what were the FBI doing this whole time? You could say the FBI just ignored it, or there could have been some investigation going on into the whole thing because you got little kids on there, you got drugs, all type of stuff on a laptop. So they could have been looking at it this whole time or not. I have no idea. But it wasn't no purpose in them giving it to the FBI because the FBI already has it. But I think they said they gave it to the FBI because they wanted to find out how it was procured and how it was duplicated and stuff like that. But that's really aside from the point. The point is that it's out there in the wild now. I'm sure there are more copies, so there's no point in doing that. You should investigate it and see what's going on as an independent body, as Delaware State Police, rather than just letting the FBI handle it because they already got it. That's not going to help them at all. And if you're going to give it to them, have your own copy to investigate independently as a state police department rather than just letting the federales take over. That'd be my advice, but hey, what do I know? It is what it is. But we'll see what's going on with that. Rudy Giuliani did nothing wrong. The wrongdoer here is Hunter Biden and also your man, what's his name? Jeffrey Toobin. I mean, these guys on their laptops, man. You got Hunter Biden with his laptop, his wayward laptop. You got all kind of things on there that shouldn't be on there. You sent it to a repair shop and didn't pick it up. The bill was $85, sir. I mean, I know you got a habit, allegedly, maybe, but come on, $85? I'm sure you spent more than that on a weekend bender. Much more than that on the weekend bender. Okay, you beaming up straight to the sky, right? You beaming the Scotty. I'm sure you got a little bit of money left to pay for the laptop to get it back. And I think it was 3 laptops for the same, like $85 total. So that's like no money. You got that, sir. Come on, you're Hunter Biden. 50 grand a month from Burisma Holdings. I'm sure you got more illicit deals than that. You breaking off your father, Joe, some of the monies, allegedly, between 10 and 50%, but you still have some left after that. You can live an affluent life. So what are you even doing? It's called incompetence. That's why he shouldn't have been on the board to begin with. He's an incompetent person, but I move right along. Yeah, the FBI had it since December 2019. Giuliani said 7 months, but I'm not sure how accurate that is. 7 months, December 2019, that'd be about 10 months, right? But what do I know? I don't know much, but I'm going to keep on rocking. 50 Cent, shout out to him for endorsing Donald Trump officially. Well, not totally officially, but it's enough for me because he came out a couple of times and said what he said. He didn't backtrack. He didn't say, oh, I was just playing. I was just trolling. I don't endorse Trump. He didn't say F Donald Trump. He didn't say anything like that. He was on the Trump train pretty solidly. So I'm right there with him on that one for sure. Absolutely. The thing about 50 is that he realizes, as anyone should if they're paying attention, that the tax situation does not make any sense. You're talking about, what, 60% taxes? More than, they take more than what you actually get. You earn money and they take more of your money than what you get. 38% is what you get back. I'm sorry. Like, I'm not trying to work hard, grind hard, fingers to the bone for 38% of my own money. No, I'm going to need a lot more than that. I mean, how about I give you less than what you're trying to give me? You understand? 38% is what I get. How about I give you 25%? And that's being generous. It should be 0, but that's a different story. I give you 25%. Rather than I keep 38%, I give you 25%. And I keep 75%. How about that? To me, that's fair. When you got big earners, you can't just keep, beating these guys in the head with these taxes. They're going to leave. I mean, there's some people that can't leave and also companies that can't leave. They're right there. They're going to be there. But some can, especially nowadays where things are mobile. You can move around. They're going to leave. Joe Rogan, prime example. Joe Rogan is a multi-millionaire, right? But California says, okay, we're going to have a wealth tax, a stupid high income tax, like 13% state income tax, which is crazy. I live in Tennessee, no state income tax. If you live in California, you got to pay federal income tax, state income tax, and a wealth tax. There's even a retroactive wealth tax. Now, how are they going to enforce a retroactive wealth tax from the state if you don't live there anymore? I'm talking about California, not just the United States. I'm talking about the one state. So if you left within the past 10 years, you got to pay California exit tax. So you could be gone already in Texas or Florida somewhere, and you got to pay back taxes to California because you had money when you left. It's like, excuse me? I'm not giving you a dime. How can you enforce that from California? This is not a federal rule. This is a state rule. I'm not coming back. It's like, what was that guy's name? ASAP Rocky, the rapper, when he got locked up in Sweden because some migrants, quote unquote, some migrants attacked him and they locked him up for that. When he left Sweden, there was still some charges pending. He was like, I'm not going back ever. I'm not going back because if I don't go back, they can't get me. They can't come to the U.S. and take me. They can't extradite me from the U.S. You can't be in California and I'm over here in New York or Virginia, or Florida, and extradite me from there to California to pay this. It's just not going to work out like that. You can't use the federales to come corral me and have me pay that back tax. I'm just not going to pay it. But Joe Rogan understands he's not going to pay all that money. So me go to Texas where you got no state income tax and I could keep more of my own money. All right. I think he got a mansion, it's like $11 million. He might have saved so much in taxes that the mansion is essentially free. You know, shout out to Patrick Bet-David from Valuetainment. He was saying this. He was like, look, if you're a very high income earner, like a Joe Rogan, multimillionaire, I don't know, 100 million, 200 million, whatever you got, if you're high income earning like that, and they're charging you like 11%, 13% for state taxes, what's that like out of 100 million? It's like 13 million. You can take that 13 million and buy a mega mansion in Tennessee, and it's the same as, you know, not even spending it in California. It's crazy. You could take 13 million and buy the mega mansion and a bunch of other properties that generate more money than what you would have had to pay in California. Like, it does not make sense to run rich people off. Keep them there to keep the economy rolling like normal, but they don't think like that. They're just not very intelligent. So, yeah, 50 Cent is right on point to endorse Trump because he does not want to pay these crazy amounts of monies in taxes. That's just facts. Now, I think 50 said that, you know, Trump might not like black people, but I don't know if he was really saying that as in he believes it or as in people say that and I don't care. Probably more the latter. It's like Kanye when he was in the Oval Office saying, you know, that can't control me. This whole idea of racism, you can't control me with that. You can't just say, oh, he's racist and I just control like that. Now I'm going to react in an emotional way, in a brainless way. You can't do that to me. Okay, I'm going to talk to him man to man, face to face, and figure out what's going on rather than just reacting in an emotional way. That's how it's supposed to go. Right? But it is what it is. 50 Cent, and then he said, I'm not trying to be 20 Cent. I still want to be 50. I want to keep my money. If anybody is thinking logically, thinking the same way, even if you're not rich, I'm not a rich person. Even if you're not rich, you'll think the same way because you work a job, work hard every day. You may work for a person or for a company owned by people. People that you work for that sign your checks, they got to pay taxes just like everybody else. And when they're taxed to the bone, taxed to death, they have to be able to pay these taxes some kind of way. And rather than just eating that cost to the point where they're not making no money, they'll just fire you or reduce your pay or outsource your job or get some kind of automation to replace you. I've seen that already in McDonald's. I was in DC. I went to the McDonald's right there. What was that, like 19th Street or something like that? Somewhere right close by the White House. You go inside, it's like 8 or 9 or it's about 6 to 8 kiosks. All you got to do is just type in your order right there, get your receipt and wait. They call your number and you go get it. That's it. So ain't no more cashiers for what? There's no reason. You can replace them with machines. Now, if the minimum wage wasn't so high, if taxes weren't so high, if you didn't have Obamacare and stuff like that getting in the way, which you'd have less of now, but back in the day it was worse. If you did not have all that in the way, you might not necessarily have the machines, or there might be a delay in bringing the machines on. You may have time to get yourself together to get away from that kind of job to find something better. But when they just raise up overnight, they're going to replace you overnight because they got to pay it overnight. So they got to adjust. So it is what it is. Shout out to McDonald's. You know, McDonald's used to be kind of, they've improved. And it all depends on which one you go to. If you go to a bad McDonald's, it's going to be bad. You know, I've seen some good ones and bad ones. It's kind of a toss-up, really. It's not like Chick-fil-A where it's always good. McDonald's can be bad or it can be good. The one in Virginia I used to go to was the best. You know, I've not been to one like that in some years. That was really, really good service, good food. You know, anyway, raising the cost of doing business is going to incentivize people to cut costs. And the biggest cost is the employees, it's payroll. They'll replace you with machines, or they might just fold. If I got to pay all my money in taxes to the point where I don't make any money off of my business that makes a lot of money, like I'm making a lot of money, but I don't make any money because I'm paying so much in taxes. I pay more to the government than I pay myself. If I was that person, I'd be like, you know what? I'll just close my business, liquidate my assets, go golfing and fishing. What's the point in working for no money? I'm generating millions and getting back pennies. I mean, isn't that common? Is it kind of like communist socialism, where they take the means of production, where you are pretty much just working for the state? They pay you whatever they want. At that point, when you go above the 50% threshold, they pretty much control you, although it's you that's working. That's kind of abusive in my humble opinion, but I'll move right along. Thank you for being here. Definitely appreciate you guys. If you like what you're hearing so far, give me a thumbs up on the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. Oh, did you guys see the UK member of parliament destroy Black Lives Matter? If you've not seen it, I'm gonna put it up on the screen right quick. I did a video about it. The video is doing pretty well. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that particular talk. I know I enjoyed it right away. I thoroughly enjoyed it. Hold on. Her name, I got to get her name right because I had it wrong at first on Instagram. But her name is Kemi Badenoch. I know I butchered that name, but it's not my fault. You got to blame the white man. Okay, so this is her speaking in front of Parliament about Black Lives, LIES Matter, and critical race theory. Let's check it out.
Political. What we are against is the teaching of contested political accepted fact.
Hold on. I'm start from the stop, from the very beginning, so you guys can hear all the way through.
What we are against is the teaching of contested political ideas as if they are accepted fact. We don't do this with communism, we don't do this with socialism, we don't do it with capitalism. And I want to speak about a dangerous trend in race relations that has come far too close to home to my life. And it is the promotion of critical race theory, an ideology that sees my blackness as victimhood and their whiteness as oppression. I want to be absolutely clear. This government stands unequivocally against critical race theory. Some schools have decided to openly support the anti-capitalist Black Lives Matter group, often fully aware that they have a statutory duty to be politically impartial. Black lives do matter, of course they do. But we know that the Black Lives Matter movement, capital BLM, is political. I know this because at the height of the protest, I've been told of white Black Lives Matter protesters calling, and I'm afraid I apologize for saying this word, calling a black armed police officer guarding Downing Street a pet nigger. That is why we do not endorse that movement on this side of the House. It is a political movement, and what would be nice would be for members on the opposite side to condemn many of the actions that we see this political movement instead of pretending that it is a completely wholesome anti-racist organization. There is a lot of pernicious stuff that is being pushed, and we stand against that. We do not want to see teachers teaching their white pupils about white privilege and inherited racial guilt. And let me be clear, any school which teaches these elements of critical race theory as fact, or which promotes partisan political views such as defunding the police without offering a balanced treatment of opposing views is breaking the law.
Boom. Perfect. Loved it. So shout out to her. Her name again is Kemi, Kemi Badenoch, Badenoch. And she is a UK member of parliament for the Conservative Party. And she is the Equalities Minister. I'm not sure about all the titles over there, but that's all I have as far as what I was able to read. So yeah, she thoroughly destroyed Black Lives Matter and critical race theory. Thoroughly destroyed it. Yeah. I mean, that was excellent. Right when I saw it, I was like, yeah, this right here has got to go up. I got to show it. And we need more of it. I'm glad she's in government over there to be able to say that in front of Parliament, in front of the world, really, because we all see it now. Now, my question would be, what's the climate like over in UK? I'm not really sure because I get mixed messages and they're saying, it's too far gone. It doesn't really matter. I don't know. So hopefully that can help you guys over there across the pond, because I know how it is in Western Europe. You're dealing with the SJWs. I feel like it'll work a little bit or a lot, really, because let's not forget, UK did have Brexit. Okay, they're not down with the whole European Union. That actually went down. So I think that you're going to have more people that speak out like that. And we need it. We need it over here in the States and also over in Europe. Absolutely. Noodle Man says, we'll trade over Piers Morgan. Here. Let's send them back. We could get her over here and we could send Piers Morgan back. How about that? Matter of fact, I don't think too many guys from UK would appreciate that. I think they probably would want her rather than Piers Morgan for sure. But I'll take that trade any day of the week. Okay. I see this whole thing about Troy Aikman. Matter of fact, I'm gonna try to find that right quick. I didn't do a video about it yet because I wasn't quite sure what was going on. Okay, I'm gonna find it right quick. I'm gonna put it on the screen. So there was a hot mic moment with Troy Aikman and Joe Buck where they were talking about the flyover. And they're talking about, it was a waste of money and it won't be happening under Kamala, Harris or Kamala Biden. Hold on. I'm going to just play it so you guys can just understand what's happening. I might do a video on it now that I got a little bit more information. Okay. Let's go ahead and put it up right here. And hopefully this is the right thing. Let's go ahead and put it up.
That's a lot of jet fuel just to do a little flyover.
That's your hard-earned money and your tax dollars at work.
That stuff ain't happening with Kamala Biden ticket. I'll tell you that right now, partner. That's a lot of jet.
So I'll play one more time. But basically what's going on is you have Joe Buck and Troy Aikman, doing color commentating, but they're on a hot mic. This is not part of the broadcast, but they're on a hot mic, allegedly, apparently. And they're talking about the flyover, the jets or whatever from the military, talking about, it's a big waste of money, all this, that, and the third. And that won't happen under a Kamala Biden ticket. And it's funny how they always talk about Kamala Harris. They say Harris Biden. They know what's going on. They know they're not voting for Joe Biden. They're voting for Kamala Harris. Kamala, whatever. We know what I'm talking about. But let's see what's going on.
Jet fuel just to do a little flyover.
That's your hard-earned money and your tax dollars at work.
That stuff ain't happening with Kamala Biden ticket. I'll tell you that right now, partner.
So, what's going on with that? What is going on with that? That was just kind of weird. That was just really weird. It's like, why would that even be a thing? Why are you worried about that? And my thing is this. Either they were genuinely concerned about taxpayers' monies being, frivolously spent, which I could understand, even though for a flyover, it's not even really that serious. And they came out and said, from the military, that this is part of training exercises. We take that money from training and we use that for that. This ain't just a frivolous expenditure. It's a training exercise. So it's part of what they do all the time anyway. Like if I come from the Virginia Beach area, I would hear jets all the time. You go down the ocean front or go down close to Oceana, them jets be super loud. and they be like, I feel like they're like right here on top of your head. And I've been to an air show as well where they're flying formation. It's cool to see. That's all training exercises. Okay. One of them crashed actually into an apartment building. Luckily, nobody in the apartment died. I think the pilot ejected too. I don't think nobody died in that situation, but he crashed into some apartments. It was crazy. But yeah, that's called training. So it's not a waste. So either you're just upset at the military doing things with the NFL. I'm not really sure what's going on. It's just weird. Yeah, very anti-American. You're right about that. The NFL has become very American. Not very American, very anti-American. And for no reason. It's dumb for the NFL or anybody that works with them to be anti-American because a big part of their branding is being American. It's a uniquely American sport. They're very patriotic. The NFL logo is an American flag. So why would you be anti-patriotic? It don't make no sense. You should, if anything, be very patriotic, not anti. But when you get these woke warriors on your network doing commentating, what else are you going to get but that kind of reaction to a flyover? But if you are a Joe Biden and Kamala Harris, or Kamala Biden, whatever you want to say, if you're a Kamala Biden supporter, then why worry about tax money? Okay, Joe Buck, Troy Aikman, they're going to raise your tax monies all the way to the top. You'll be bringing home a little bit of your own money. All right. And they'll send that money overseas and kill Afghans. But that's a different story. I digress. The whole point is that they're going to waste your tax money and you'll vote for them to come in and waste your tax money. Why are you crying about the 200,000 or whatever that was for the flyover? They're going to be spending trillions on foreign wars for no reason at all. But I digress. All right. So what else we got going on here? What else do we got going on? Oh, Anthony Fauci. It's almost right for Anthony Fauci. It's almost done. It's almost time for Fauci to go. I predict, here's a hot take, or not so hot take, might be a cold take at this particular point in time, considering what's been going on. My hot take is that Anthony Fauci gets fired on Inauguration Day or right after the election. I'm talking about as soon as Trump gets reelected and it's been confirmed, Fauci is out. He's out. If you fire him now, it'd be a big firestorm, and they'd use it against him in the campaign. It'd be real bad. It's like Trump said on the hot mic. If he goes out on TV, speaking about Fauci, if he goes out on TV, it's always a bomb. But if I fire him, there's a bigger bomb. Well, guess what? It doesn't matter what happens after the election because that'd be the end of your second term. You're done. So you can go ahead and fire him then. Why not? What are they going to do? Get you out of office? Try to impeach you again for firing somebody? Why? It'd be negative press, but who cares? Because I'm not running anymore anyway. So it doesn't even matter. The next person that runs, they're going to be running for themselves, not running for me. Okay? Whatever I did, that's what I did, not what they did. But Fauci is terrible. Oh, he's an epidemiologist. He's an expert, whatever. There's plenty of experts. Why is it that some experts are listened to and some aren't? You got all the frontline doctors that are experts that actually treat patients that have had success with the virus, but they get totally ignored. They get censored. They get the website shut down by Squarespace, all that good stuff, right? Oh, okay. But when you're talking about Anthony Fauci, then he's infallible and nothing can be, he's been wrong. He's changed his stance on things. And that's fine, because he's the expert. People like Fauci, not us. We know what's going on. People like him because he is seen as an anti-Trumper. And Trump said it. He's a Democrat, good friends with the Cuomo family. All right. So you already know what it is. And a big time hypocrite. Oh, you must wear a mask. You got to wear a mask because it'll block a droplet. But then 3 months ago, oh, you don't need to wear a mask. Might block one droplet. It's like, sir, stop it. You're saying one thing back 3 months ago and saying something else now, talking about, oh, we got more information. What information? You know how viruses spread if the whole point of wearing a mask is to prevent droplets from leaving your mouth and landing on somebody. then what's the point of it now? Did the purpose of the mask change in 3 months? If not, then why change your stance? There was no reason to change it. The only reason to change it is because you were either lying then or you're lying now. One of the two. All right. Either masks are not going to help or they are. And ain't no, oh, my opinion changed because new information. And the new information, the only reason to have the mask on is to prevent droplets from leaving your mouth. That's it. Nothing else is to be said. That was the same reason it was back 3 months ago or 6 months ago, whenever the whole thing started back in March. It was a reason back then. But now you want to change. But yet and still, he's seen as an expert. And people are so dumb. Kamala Harris talking about, oh, well, if there was a vaccine that Trump came out with, then I wouldn't take it. But if Fauci came out with it, then I would take it. It's like, what are you talking about? Neither Trump nor Fauci are going to create vaccines. They don't work for Pfizer or for Merck or any other pharmaceutical company. They're not going to be in the lab concocting little things to make the virus vaccine. They're not going to do it. So why would you say that if one promoted it, I wouldn't take it, but if the other one did, I would? It's just so dumb. And whatever Trump took apparently worked. He had the virus. Now people say he didn't have the virus. So it's kind of weird. First, if a person has a virus and they end up dying or they get real sick, they came from a Trump rally. Oh, it's Trump's fault. Trump killed him. And talk about Herman Cain like that. Not knowing how Herman Cain got the virus. He could have got it from the rally. He could have got it from the airport. I don't know. Nobody knows. Nobody has any evidence where he caught the virus. And they don't talk about how he had cancer, stage 4 cancer before he caught the virus, but that's a different story. When it comes to Trump, they say, okay, you had it because you're irresponsible, you're a jerk, you don't know what you're doing. But then when he gets cured, essentially, they say he never had it. So which one is it? You just want to change whatever you say to fit your narrative. It's kind of funny how that works, but it is what it is, right? But if I was in the market for some kind of antiviral, I'd take what he got. If it worked for him, a 74-year-old man, then it worked for me too. Why not? Why not? I'll take it. Let me get that. All right. Yeah. I'm not going to take, I'm not going to bang no needles. I'll tell you that right now. I'm not banging no needles. I'm not taking no Bill Gates vaccine. I'm good. All right. I don't do the flu shot and I've been perfectly fine. All right. I'm all right. I have an immune system. I'm good money. I might get the sniffles for a little bit and I'll be just ready to be good to go. All right. So, yeah, thank y'all for being here. I appreciate you guys. You guys are the best audience on the internet. And if you like what you're hearing so far, give me your thumbs up. Share the video, like the video, do all that good stuff. What else we got going on? Did I cover everything I wanted to cover so far? I think I did. I talked about Kemi Badenoch and 50 endorsing Trump again. Black Lives Matter. The lady who read Black Lives Matter, yeah, that was good. The Hunter Biden situation, yeah. So yeah, Fauci, I think it'd be fired after the election. That's my prediction. That's my hot take. And like I was saying, he should get fired right now, but it'd be a big media story if he did it. It'd be terrible timing. That would just be more information. That'd be more of campaign fodder they would try to use against the president. And what's going on with your man, Joe Biden? This guy's not well. Do you understand that this guy, when he leaves his basement, he doesn't really go far? Okay, he's been to Philadelphia like 1,000 times in this campaign cycle, but nowhere else. Because Philadelphia is right next to Wilmington, which is where he lives. I'm talking about, it's like 45 minutes away, maybe at the most, maybe a half hour. It's right there. So you're basically taking a little train ride from Wilmington to Philadelphia and then back home. He put a lid on his campaign for like 4 days. And that means that you won't see him no more. He's done campaigning up until Thursday, which is tomorrow, and that's a debate. I'm going to try and stream that debate here on the channel tomorrow. Hopefully I'll be able to do it. The only roadblock would be the carrier that has it. If I can get it on C-SPAN or RSBN, I go ahead and stream it. But if not, then I might not be able to. So y'all just stand by on that one. But he's not been seen since then. His wife is out there campaigning for him. Okay, his son he's in love with the cocoa, so he can't be out there campaigning like Trump's son, Donald Trump Jr. and Eric Trump are doing, or like Tiffany Trump, his daughter, and also Ivanka, if she goes out there and campaigns. You even got Eric Trump's wife, Laura Trump, doing more campaigning than even Joe Biden himself, let alone Hunter Biden. All right. So he is only leaving his basement for brief trips down the street. But he often is not even seen at all. How can you win an election if you don't even campaign? And that's crazy. All you got to do is just get on a Zoom, because people are pretty much accepting Zoom as normal at this particular point in time. It's all right. But he's not even doing that. It's like, man, you're trying to lose. Talking about, he's going to win in a landslide. Speaking about Biden. Biden cannot win. You can't win an election if you don't campaign. Virus or no virus. You got to tighten up, man. You got to just get it together. All right. So let's go ahead and get to super chats right quick, and then we get to the calls a little bit later. Oh, I saw that, Christina. Obama stunt for Biden. Yeah. Now, Obama came out for Hillary Clinton, I think in September of 2016. We're almost into November, Barack Obama, and you're coming out now and trying to stunt for Joe Biden. You're talking about, dragging the feet, kicking and screaming to do it. It's crazy. But that's the same thing he did with the whole endorsement thing. He waited until the last possible moment to go ahead and do that. The last possible moment to do it, but he did it because he doesn't really want Joe Biden to become even a nominee. He's upset that it's not someone else. Barack Obama's friend, Deval Patrick, he came into the race real late. Real late. And it's like, why is he in the race real late? For what? He has no chance of winning. I feel like that was a message to Joe Biden that Obama does not want you in this race and he does not want to support you. That's what I felt like it was, because even Barack Obama knows that Joe Biden is on his last leg, halfway dead, in a nut. Even if he was not, pretty much out of here, he is not mentally a good person. He's not going to be able to go out there and keep his hands to himself and stop touching kids and things like that. He's just not a good candidate to have running for president. You tried and failed twice before. Here you are, time number 3, and you about to be 1,000 years old. You're 999 years old. You're a day away from 1,000. You're a day away from 1,000 years old. You're basically, at this particular point in time, a ghoul roaming the streets of the United States, running for president. You don't come out. It's just, Obama knows. So he's going to wait until the last moment to stump for him. But it is what it is. Rambo 14 says Hunter Biden is a dope fiend. Yes, Hunter Biden is a dope fiend. That's for sure. In love with the cocoa. All right. Super chat's on deck, and then I'm going to get to the calls a little bit later. So let me see. Let me go back to where I was. Thank you to, let me see, Apu Bakr, All Puff Daddy, who says, ABL, God rest the soul of Houston Police Sergeant Harold Preston, killed on duty, responding to a domestic violence call. He was murdered by a thug who only 2 days previous had been arrested. However, charges were dropped and he was released with his pistol and ammo at the insistence of Soros-funded DA Kim Ogg. Sergeant Preston was a 41-year member of the Houston Police Department and set to retire at the end of the year. Dear God, please send love and peace to Sergeant Peter Preston's family. Yeah, that was so sad. I saw that story. He had been with them for 41 years. And shout out to my man on Instagram, Officer Lou. Shout out to you, sir. You have the best post, man. You're doing really good. But he had a picture of Mr. Preston recently and when he first started. Broke my heart, man, because my dad was in the fire department, and I remember seeing this early picture and then, seeing how he looks now. And if I showed you his picture, it looks like me, but with, it's crazy how he looks like me, but with a different hat on. So that really broke my heart to see that. So rest in peace to Sergeant Harold Preston. You'll be missed. And that thug that did that, give him the rope. Just call it how it is. No big rocks, little rocks, give him the rope. How about that? And that DA need to get disbarred immediately. She might need to get locked up for letting that dangerous criminal out on the streets. For sure. I might do a video about that actually, because that really kind of impacted me a little bit. Thank you to Apu Bakar, Al Puff Daddy, who says, where are Black Lives Matter on Sergeant Preston? Very good question. Very, very good question. Nowhere to be found. Let me see. Thank you to Leo Mazzino, who says 1918 is the first year we have been doing flyover. We don't pay extra for flyover. There we go. Thank you for that. Let me see. Jeremiah B says this guy Ricky Manor keeps putting out videos accusing you, Tatum, and Owens of being grifters who hate your own people. What do you say to that? Well, first of all, I have no idea who that is. I think I might have seen this guy. I'm gonna look him up right quick. Ricky Manners is his name. I don't see you. I don't know. But that's just, haters gonna hate. And my thing is, okay, you're on YouTube too, so are you trying to get money too? Are you trying to, what are you really trying to do? But it is what it is. That ain't nothing new. That's just typical hate. And I'm all about love. And you know what? That guy might mess around and be a Trump supporter later, because shout out to my main man over on Fox News, Leo Terrell. Leo Terrell was the biggest conservative hater on the planet. He be on Fox News screaming at you, top of his lungs. But now he's a Trump supporter, Leo 2.0. And I congratulate Leo Terrell for coming to his senses and now being a Trump supporter, going out there and campaigning for Trump. He had a speech today with a packed house. It was beautiful. Shout out to Leo Terrell. The guy that's hating like that might turn over a new leaf. He's watching this, so he already got his foot in the door. He don't even know it. If he's watching me and he's talking about what I'm doing, his foot is already in the door. All I gotta do is just come on in. Come on in, man. We got fried chicken, we got ham hocks, we got barbecue sauce, whatever you need, man. Come on in. We can have a nice little dinner and it's all good to go. So shout out to Leo 2.0. Exactly, Nay. He hated Trump and made a 180. He be on Fox News screaming, top of the lungs, eyes bugging out, but now he's a Trump supporter, wearing Trump hats and everything. So, but let's get to the next one here. Shout out to Ian Kennedy, who says you should check out Glenn Beck's theory on why he believes Hunter didn't pick up a laptop. Sounds plausible. I'll check into that. Thank you for your donation, man. Definitely appreciate you. Let me see. John D says, hold on. Will Redding says, voted today, took mom with me. She has voted Democrat since 1964. Wow. Today is the first time she voted straight Republican ticket in Trump. So have faith and be encouraged, America. Hey, that's great. It's like I was saying about that guy. He might be a conservative hater right now, but he could change. Anybody can change. So it's all good. I implore anyone to watch my videos because you might change. And it's all good. All right. Shout out to John D, who says 50 cents will be worth 20 cents after Biden tax rate. Also, finally, a reason to bring Russian collusion back into the media. Man, that whole Russia thing, I thought that was over with. I thought it was, a dead horse that had been beaten to the ground and had pretty much vanished, but it's still here. All right. Shout out to Sisyphus Wins, who says, got my fourth gun of 2020, 20th gun overall, a customized Glock 19 with Tragicon RMR. Also, I have a wooden flag from Robin on Order. Stay frosty, ABL family. Hey, thank you for your donation, man. Definitely appreciate you. Hopefully you enjoy those, your guns and the flag for sure. Thank you to Cairo for your donation. Thank you to Ian Kenny, who says, my son received this month's Scholastic Magazine and Social Studies class. It's called A Critical Race Theory Promoting Trump Hating Dumpster Fire. Terrible. Terrible. Thank you to Jeeps, who says, got kicked out of a Discord server today for saying that any person of any skin color nowadays has the ability and privilege to pursue anything they want and succeed without anything stopping them. I mean, so is that bad to say? So by you not being racist, by saying that, hey, we all have the ability to do whatever we want, there's nobody stopping you, I'm not going to stop you, and I don't want anyone else to stop you, that's somehow a bad thing that you're moved from a Discord server for. But that tells you right there you were in the wrong place. You were definitely in the wrong party. Shout out to Zane Mayasi. Hopefully I didn't butcher your name, boss, who says, hi, ABL. A professor of black studies in London said, quote, the British Empire did more harm to the world than the Nazis unquote crazy talk. That's silly. That's totally silly. Thank you for your donation. Shout out to John D, who says Farrah Fawcett and Michael Jackson died on the same day. One received 99% of media coverage. Farrah got 1%. Media defines reality. And it's a good point. Thank you to Mad World, who says leadership is a privilege to better the lives of others. It's not an opportunity to satisfy personal greed. Exactly. Yes. I believe you're called to be a leader. It's not, I think you really want to, it's not, I think you might aspire to be an important person, but not necessarily to be a leader. It's kind of like just thrust on you. Thank you to Matthew Phillips, who says Hunter noses rocks. Christian Pinion says taxation is theft. Retro Gamer 81, thank you for the number one flag waving emoji. Christian Pinion became an ABL support. Thank you for that, man. Definitely appreciate you, boss. Thank you to Kathleen King, who says love the truth, Trump 2020. Angry Engineers, great name, says what's up, brother? Thanks for pushing the truth out. Hey, I can't do nothing else. Thank you for being here. Shout out to Matthew Phillips, who says, I heard Flint's water is still undrinkable. What's up with that? I bet taxpayer money is going to BLM rather than fix Flint's utilities. It shouldn't be like that because they got like $700 million to fix the pipelines. They got that in 2017. So where's the money at? Okay, it's been years since they got the money. So if the money has not been allocated properly, then that only has to go. You got to blame that on the local government, not anyone else. So I'd love to see where the money is at. All right. Shout out to Heath Woodburn, coming from West Virginia. Says, love your ABL. We need more logical humans in the world. Hey, thank you for that. You know, shout out to West by Guy, Wild and Wonderful, West Virginia. Let me see. Thank you to Blessed Butterfly Girl Maria for a donation. Thank you to Patty Joe Pickleman for becoming a member of the ABL squad. And thank you to Kathleen King for becoming an ABL supporter. Thank you to John D, who says Nazi Germany was actually called National Socialist German Workers' Party. Things aren't always what they seem. Thank you to your mother was a hamster for the donation with the love emoji. Thank you to Sean Turner, who says, what do I get at 1776 display you have? Big ups. Well, you mean the flag over here? That's on the website. Go to anthonyblogan.com. And it should say wooden flags in the menu. Click right there. It'll take you right to the page. You can get something customized or you can get that same flag, whatever you want to do. Okay. And if you want a hat that has 1776 with the circles or whatever, you can get that on the website, ablmerch.com. Let me see. Shout out to Madam Leda, who says, I'm in Canada. American lefties are showing desire to immigrate to Canada if Trump is reelected. Please don't. Toxic dumping in foreign countries is a crime. Hey, you know what? They never do that because it was the same thing last time. Oh, I'm going to Canada. But nobody really left. Okay. If anything, you got people that will leave their liberal state for a conservative state. That's where they're actually going. They're not going somewhere else. And they talk about going to Canada, but never Jamaica or somewhere like that. Jamaica's a sovereign country. Why don't you want to go there? Why you want to go to Canada? You racist, but I digress. Okay. Shout out to Tanisha Williams, who says, Don Beta Lemon said Trump supporters selfish because they don't want to pay higher taxes. That's crazy. And you know what? My thing is this. All right, Don Lemon, if you want to pay more, go ahead. Don't take any deductions. You know what? No CPA, none of that. Just pay the maximum amount. You can do that. Okay. I've done that before. Like, if you want to do it, go ahead and pay the maximum amount you got to pay. Don't go to H&R Block. Don't hire no tax attorney. Don't do nothing. Pay whatever the IRS says you can pay with no deductions. And then that's your contribution. But I doubt that he does that. I seriously doubt that. Okay. Black Blast Gaming says, Harris' husband campaigning for her, shaking my head. Oh, back to Don Lemon right quick. People that own businesses are not necessarily selfish, all right? Because a lot of high income earners that are going to be impacted by a tax hike, they got employees to pay. So if I got to pay more to the federal government, that means less money to employees. How is that selfish, right? I'm directly employing people rather than giving money to the state where it gets wasted on nonsense, on garbage, trains in nowhere, foreign wars. How about I give that money to my employees so they can take care of themselves and their family? Makes sense, but I digress. Thank you to Justice Smith, who says, tighten up. going to Gatlinburg next month. Oh, shout out to Gatlinburg. And thank you for your donation. Thank you to Basenji. Oh, I know I butchered that name. Is this traditional Chinese? Okay, it says September 24th, Lewd's broadcast. 3 hard drives, provided 3 hard drives to the DOJ of America. 491,545 views. Look it up on YouTube. I'll check it out. I think I saw that with the Chinese guy that was talking about Xi Jinping and all that. I'm gonna look into that and might do a video on it if I can get enough information. Thank you to Byron8899 who says, do you think the reason Silicon Valley tech companies dislike Trump is because of restricted H-1B working visas? That could be part of it, but the real reason is because you got a bunch of SJW liberals over there. Okay, you're right in the middle of, like, that area, that's where the Black Panther started. So you got a whole history of so-called revolution, but it's changed now. Back then, they may have wanted some legitimate things, but now it's more about just, you know what, okay, I identify as a furry, I identify as a pet dog, I identify as, a baby seat in a Chevy Tahoe or something like that, and you gotta respect my gender identification. So if you think that I can identify as a used U-Haul truck, then I'm gonna be against you. I'm gonna get triggered. I'm gonna screech. That's kind of what it's about now. All right. You seeing these women? They're screaming about Trump in their trucks and their car, going on camera and just screeching. That's what's going on. Those people are the same people that are employees at YouTube and Facebook and everything else. All right, the H-1Bs, I mean, that's the foreign workers aren't the screechers. It's the Americans. But I'll move right along. Shout out to Orestes Moha who says, do you think that any other left will ever get the punishment they deserve, or will it just be forgotten about after the election? That's a good question. Some will, possibly, but I think some of the big dogs won't. I hope that the big dogs are punished appropriately, like your Joe Biden and people like that, but I have little faith that's going to happen because Hillary Clinton was much more egregious and she's still walking free like ain't nothing happened. So I have little faith, but I hope that they do get punished. All right. Hunter Biden especially. All right. Joe Biden had the crime bill out. So if you were selling crack back then, you might get football numbers and you might not never come home again. But Hunter can actually smoke crack on camera and it's fine. Thank you for tea. Yeah, he can smoke crack on camera and it's all right. And when he was in the military, he did this and he got an admin discharge rather than a dishonorable discharge. Okay, if you are in the military right now and you want to become a crackhead, you want to just let up a rock, you want to beam up the Scotty, you might mess around and go to jail. You might get Leavenworth for that, maybe, but definitely a dishonorable discharge. But I digress. Thank y'all for being here yet again. You guys are the best audience on the internet. We're getting to the calls right now. You guys know the drill. The number to call is 434-658-1220. Again, 434-658-1220. There's also an email for Skype if you want to get in through that way. And a link for that will be in the description box below. What's email? It's not a link. So you could be right here in the bottom left-hand corner of the screen if that particular feature works. See if it wants to work today. And there it is. Boom. Alrighty. So, yeah. So the moral of the story so far today is, kids, don't smoke crack. Just be straight edge like me. I don't smoke crack and I'm good. You don't want to be out there with, everything in the street because you're on drugs. You want to be a nice and clean person. But I'll leave that right there. All right, let's get to, let me see. All right, there we go. 240, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hi, Anthony. You're talking to the Prince of Prince George's, Jimmy Anthony.
All righty, what's going on?
First, I wanted to give a shout out to you because the way I started watching your show was during the debate. So I want to give you a shout out because I'm actually an independent and I listen to both sides and I feel like give accurate information and non-biased, and it's very, very non-biased. So I want to thank you for that. So I just have one quick question for you if we have time real quick.
Go for it.
All right. So recently I just wrote a book called Unchained, The History of Mental Slavery in America and How to Overcome It. And in the book, one of the sections I talk about was how Dr. King warned how the power structure will use black faces to hide the racist agenda of the system. So my question to you is this. With the debate that's coming on tomorrow night between Biden and Trump, do you believe it would be a mistake on Trump's part if you were not to mention about how his campaign is reaching out to black male voters, such as talking with Ice Cube, saying, even though he's not on par, we're at least doing the reaching out right now. Do you think it would be a mistake if he were not to mention that at the debate?
Well, I'm not sure if it'd be a mistake. I think it'd be good to mention it for sure, but it's got to be in the proper context. Like, you can't just bring it up randomly, because then it might seem like he's just trying to pander, and it's not really a genuine thing. So if it's in the proper context of a question or of a conversation, I say go ahead and bring it up. Like, if something came up about, if it was like race relations or Black Lives Matter or something like that, or what have you done, what's your history been, and it comes up like that, then bring it up at that point. So I think in the proper context, if he doesn't do it, then it will be a mistake. But if it does not present itself, then there's a mistake in bringing it up, because then it's just like you're pandering, and it was not really a time for that to be brought up.
All right. Thank you very, very much. I appreciate your opinion. Be sure to check out the book, Unchained, The History of Mental Slavery in America and How to Overcome, and keep doing what you're doing, because we need voices like you who are interested in saving the people, not just speaking for themselves.
Well, thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
Good day.
All right. Great call. Great call. And thank y'all again for being here. You guys are the best audience anywhere on the net. All right, Sarit, what's happening?
Hey, man, what's up, man? Hey, man, I'm just happy, bro, because black men are talking, bro. Like, this is the first time I've seen black men so active in politics, especially from the independent standpoint and the right-wing standpoint, bro. And, like, people like you and, Brandon Tatum getting together, or you got, Ice Cube, Kanye West, but still, like, we're over here making ripples, bro, and the liberal establishment doesn't like that, bro. Let me tell you, man, practices slave plantation like politics like liberals. Nobody do. Because back in the slave times, they would make sure that they take out the alpha males right in front of the women, just straight up disrespect, rape, destroy black men who are trying to change right in front of the women, so that the women can have no more confidence of them. And they are doing that today. If you notice, every time a black man speaks out against liberals, or at least has a question that kind of questions what liberals have, if I'm going to come to argue to vote for you, what am I getting in return? Like, I'm not going to just vote for you and I'm seeing my community in shambles and nothing's happening. What am I getting in return? And they tell this, shut up and go play video games, shut up and rap, or shut up and drink. You know what I'm saying? That is this design of black man to be disrespected. And then what they do is that they hire these, like Jamel Hill, or they dispatch the root coming after black men, talking about how, man, that we are the toxic ones and maybe if we just shut up and vote like black women, and then they ask, why are y'all even coming up with an agenda anyway? Why now? Because we are seeing the stakes is high. It's like, okay, y'all are big. The thing is, I don't even too much care if the Democrats wouldn't be all in our communities asking for our vote. So if you're going to ask me for my vote, I'm going to tell you what I want, but I'm not going to just give you my vote. And just, bro, you can just see the disrespect of black men. And we always bring it up. Look, it's just Black Lives Matter is a prime example. How do you have an organization who's one of the tenets like this? Like, someone had to sit down and think about this, bro. To come up with something like, we want to take the man out the family structure, to have a community raised with, I guess, a bunch of women, transgenders, and gays, and just take the man out. that is a direct assault of manhood leadership. And you got all these black groups, or black organizations that they only have gay men or women, no heterosexual men, bro. We have to wake up and see that this is an assault on black men taking the reins and leading, bro. And we have to fight back. If they blame black men for the loss of Joe Biden, we need to get up and clap and own it. We don't need to be writing no articles against our brothers, calling them, patriarchal, toxic, masculine males who don't care about the plight of women. No, we need to own it, and we need to tell them, you are going to keep losing election after election until you respect us. No more disrespect. You're not going to sit there and elevate the worst of us. You're not going to keep having Joe Biden, who has time to interview Cardi B, but you won't sit down with a man like Ice Cube, or even not even that, bro. Sit down with a man like you or any other black independent. But you're not going to insult our community and our intelligence by interviewing the dumbest of our community, by having Lizzo make a twerk video telling us to vote. Her big self is twerking, bro. I don't know if you saw that video. She was like, get out and vote, and she's twerking. Black men, we're not playing that insulting stuff. And one last thing, like I said, there's no disrespect to the women, but women want to be taken care of. And I see pretty much why black women would crowd around the Democrats, because they are taken care of. But as men, we are protectors and providers. We don't need to be taken care of. So stop treating us as these soft little beta males who needs to be, oh, you're carnal. Well, I'm going to come protect you from the white man. No. Yes, bro, black men need to keep rising up and keep talking it and not caring about what anyone has to say, bro. And that's pretty much all I got to say, man.
All right, thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
All right, take care.
Wow, great call from Tariq. Excellent call from Tariq. 1,000%. I see your comment, Modern Renaissance man. I didn't get the video. If you're trying to call in, I would say the best way is probably to call through Skype, or if you don't, then give me your area code in the chat, just so I can see it come up, because I got a lot of calls on the jank. So let me get to the next one here. All right. Let me go. 812, you're in the line. Who am I speaking to? 812, hello.
Hello.
Yes.
Hey, Mr. Logan, I'm glad you took my call.
All right, no problem, man. Who am I speaking to?
This is Joe. I'm out of Indiana, born and raised in Kentucky. I really enjoy your show. I just wanted to call in and tell you I feel like Donald Trump is going to win, just because simply, showing these rallies between the two candidates, it's obvious, who's got the enthusiasm for it. But also, I just kind of realized a while ago, looking through YouTube, that whenever you see the viewerships on the live videos that they do, Harris had one tonight that only had 422 people on it. And Trump had one at 64,000, and that wasn't even on a major network. So I just kind of wanted to let you know, in my opinion, that that's another good sign for us.
Oh, yeah. I mean, the enthusiasm and the interest is humongous for Trump. People could say, oh, well, they're not really coming out for the rallies because of the virus on the side of Kamala Harris and Joe Biden. But what about the live streams? You could be at the comfort of your home watching a live stream. So why is there nobody watching those? I'll have more viewers than them, and they are actually running for president. They have a much bigger platform than I do. So where is the enthusiasm? Where is the followers? Where is the fans? They don't even really exist. And you know what? I feel like they're kind of on par with Hillary Clinton was the way she was in 2016. And she got so many votes. I'm thinking there might have been a lot of voter fraud back then we don't know about. And they might try to do the same thing this year to make it appear to be competitive. But I think that real people voting that are actually going to be out there at the polls are going to vote majority for Trump, even in the blue area, in my humble opinion.
Yeah, I believe you're exactly right. I just wanted to call you and let you know that, man. And, maybe other people weren't really looking at the viewerships on the live streams. And, I just come to my attention tonight. I don't know, I might be a little behind on it, but I didn't hear nobody talking about that type of stuff. But, you keep doing what you do. I appreciate you.
Thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
Yes, sir. You have a good night.
Same to you.
Bye-bye.
All right, great call. Yeah, the enthusiasm is no contest. The enthusiasm is something crazy. It's just not really there for the Biden campaign or for Kamala Harris or for any of them really. It's just not there. All right, let's get to the next one here. And we're gonna do 571. You're the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hey, what's going on, ABL? My name's Kelly.
All right, man. What's going on?
Hey, I got a question for you, man. Do you see a civil war happening or any kind of serious, like, civil unrest, like, not this election, but, like, I think, like, the next election is going to be a lot more serious when it comes to the two sides going at it. I just want to get your opinion on that.
Nah, I don't think so because the thing about it is people are too comfortable just, with the Netflix and, they're like people are more comfortable just kind of like sitting at the crib. They don't have the real motivation to get into a true war. And if there was any kind of insurrection from the other side, there's the military, there's police. If they really were to, get unchained, then they can handle that pretty quickly. It's like the whole thing with what was that, Portland and other places. When you bring in the National Guard and when you bring in the police, they clear that out pretty quick. But when things are allowed to persist and they're allowed to fester because of local government and their inaction, that's when you see a lot of the violence and the crime happening because governments locally are allowing it to happen. When they're actively taking police away and then you have a lot of problems, that is the result. So I don't think there'll be any kind of civil war because there's much more of a defense that we have here that has not been truly activated yet.
Gotcha. Copy, man. I appreciate it, bro.
Thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
All right. Thank you, bro.
Yeah, it won't really be any true problems in my humble opinion. Let's get to the next one here. 786 on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hey, what's up, brother? How's it going? It's good to talk to you again.
Everything's good, man. Can't complain.
Hey, that's good. That's good. So, I'm down here in Miami, man. On Sunday, I went to my first Trump rally, and it's crazy to see the amount of cars and the amount of people that are actually there, man. I mean, actually going to it in person versus, you see it online. I watch Caitlin Bennett and some of the rallies that she goes to, and I see a lot of people there. But when you actually get to see it in person, it gives you a better perspective on how many people actually go there. There was basically like 30 or 40,000 cars.
Oh yeah, man. Like, I've been to, I was at one big rally like that, and I've been to some other small ones. But, the big rallies with thousands of people, man, it's nothing like it. Everybody's so nice. Everybody's so helpful. All walks of life. It's just a beautiful experience, man. Like, if anybody's not gone to one, they got to go to it.
Absolutely. I mean, this was not an official rally. This was just one of those rallies set up just by enthusiasm. But a couple people have told me that going to a rally that's actually set up by the man, the myth, the legend himself is a completely different atmosphere. So I got a question, man. So this is going back from a couple calls before me. I believe that the enthusiasm is there, because the thing is I got into it with my mom a little bit because I wanted her to go with me, and she didn't go. So after the rally, I called her and said, "Hey, man, hey, you missed out big time on the rally," and she said, "I did not want to go because I think that Joe Biden is going to win from the cheating," and I'm trying to explain to her that even if they cheat, there's not going to be enough, enough support from the cheating to win the election over to Biden. Now, I believe that the enthusiasm is there, and I believe that as far as like the actual support, I think without a question of a doubt, you would win. The only thing is I am nervous about the cheating, and I do not trust the voting process. I think all of it's going to be rigged, especially with the mail-in voting. So my question is, what would you say to the people who are on the fence and don't trust it and are nervous about it.
But I mean, what you mean, the election?
Yeah, with all the mail-in voting, because I know they're gonna try and call the election like 7 or 8 days later with the mail-in stuff.
Well, okay. I mean, it's going to be hard to really combat that because all you can really do is just control how you vote. You can encourage others that you know to vote in person, but that's all you can really do. But the main thing is this: to have some comfort. All that Trump needs is 270 electoral votes. I think he'll be able to get that without having the contested states, because there will be some contested, like California, that'll be contested. Florida might be, probably not though. There'll be some contested states because of all the mail-in voting. But I think even with those still being in contest, it won't make a difference because you have 270 anyway. So use that for some comfort.
Yeah. I mean, I think we'll be fine, man. It's just, especially with all the media censorship, Mark Zuckerberg on Facebook, he went out and he said that he's gonna be censoring anybody who declares victory on November 3rd. I'm pretty sure he means it for either candidate, but we both know that he's heavily biased. I mean, basically the whole media is biased towards Biden and against Trump. So they went out and said that, hey man, we're gonna wait a little bit longer, but I guess we just gotta see how it goes.
Also breaking tonight.
That's right. Absolutely, man. Well, thank you for your call. Definitely appreciate you.
All right. Thanks, man. Have a good night.
All right. Shout out to the caller. And thank you, everybody, for being here tonight. The number to call, 434-658-1220. Okay. Now, we got some breaking news right here talking about Hunter Biden's laptop. Now, it says, I'm going to just read it right quick. There's a video, but I won't play it. Laptop connected to Hunter Biden linked to FBI money laundering probe. And the subhead here says, it is unclear at this point whether the investigation is ongoing or if it's directly related to Hunter Biden. Okay. Let me see. The subpoena to the laptop, 2019. Law enforcement. All right, we'll see what's going on with that. I may do an update on this a little bit later once we get more information. But that's what's going on right now. That just happened like 30 minutes ago. 309, you're on the line. We're speaking to.
What's going on, ABL? This is Modern Renaissance Man.
Modern Renaissance Man, what's going on?
Yes. How we doing, sir?
Everything's good, man. Can't complain.
Good. I see that there's some breaking news going on right here, so I'm pretty sure there's going to be something that you're going to start to dig into right there. But what I wanted to throw in here as far as like what's been talked about is that with the whole Trump thing. Lately, I don't know, I'm pretty sure I've been catching on your channel, we've been getting silenced like nobody's business. Taking our stuff down, whatever. And I don't know if you know the news today about, well, I'm pretty sure we already knew it, but Larry Elder announced that he's going to be working with the president, for the presidential commission with the black community, whatever. So anyway, I just wanted to throw in there that we caught some attention with the Blexit movement and everything like that. Like, I've actually been invited to come and speak at a Trump rally here in Illinois at a baseball dome or baseball semi-dome, whatever you want to call it. But anyway, the reason why I want to throw it in there and say what I want to say right now is this. For the first time, I think that we are actually seeing a big, huge tide of young black voters turning over to Republican. And what I did when I spoke to some of these folks, I told them Republicans helped free the slaves. Republicans had a lot to do with the Underground Railroad helping us that way. I said, but then when the shift came to where affirmative action and all that came into there and pretty much got the blacks to go more towards Democrats, I said, the Republicans, I said, y'all stop fighting for us. I said, y'all stopped fighting for us. Y'all just stopped. Y'all figured that, and to be quite frank, y'all didn't really need our votes to win. So therefore, y'all wasn't targeting us anymore. But yet at the same time, I said, y'all still could be fighting for us to help get a lot of us off the mental plantation as well. So I did some history studying, man, and it just blew my mind, ABL, just how what I asked today, when I talked to a group of folks today, I asked them this. I said, how come nobody is talking about the period that happened after slavery, you know, in the late 1890s into the 1940s and 50s? Nobody's talking about that period where blacks, as far as they talking about us having like a margin of wealth and all this, we were real close to whites. Nobody's talking about how the fact that blacks, there were more marriages with black families at that time than there was white families. And nobody's talking about that time. What they do is they keep our focus on all the bad stuff that was happening. So you telling me that during the Jim Crow laws and the civil rights movement and all that, more black families were intact and together with fathers in the home than today, when they were far more racist back then. So when I looked at that and I told them, think about that. So we need to ask ourselves, what happened to where we got where we are right now? And you can't don't get the racist thing out of here, because we know that that's just a bunch of BS. They just use that to keep black folks emotionally charged, to keep on saying, yeah, they're doing us wrong, look what they're doing. But nobody is talking about the fact that blacks were doing really good post-slavery in the late 1800s, well into the 1940s and 50s, with the family being intact, home ownership, the salary and all that was real close to white folks, and we were married. There were more married couples amongst blacks than there were whites.
That's right. Absolutely. I mean, they don't want to talk about that because it's all about just trying to push this whole narrative of, oh, you're a victim, you can't do anything, and you're so downtrodden and everything else. It's like, well, wait a minute. I mean, we all know that bad things happen. That's just life. But let's focus on the good things too. Let's talk about that. Let's not just totally ignore that part, because that's important, because we got to understand the full history, not just a piece of it. If you want to take a little piece of it and just focus on that, then you're going to just frame history in the way you want it and have us behave accordingly. But that's just being dishonest.
Yep, and that's why I think right now that we have this huge, like right now, I mean, it's a lot of, I mean, we've seen it for ourselves at the Black March, that I think that honestly, and people can mark my words on this, I think that for the first time in history, this is going to be like a huge turning point, and I think there's going to be some sort of revolution amongst blacks to actually start to wake up and see things for what they really are right now. And if you can't look at what's going on right now and see that there's like an all-out war on, for one, hiding away truth and standing on righteousness, then folks they're either choosing to be blind or they got too much pride to call out and say, you know what, this is kind of wrong. Because there's no way you're going to be able to look at what Donald Trump is doing and have done and say this man is racist when he just, did all the things he's done for the black communities. You're going to look at that, okay, he did all these things, but he's racist. And then this is the last thing I'm going to say, because I know you got another call online, when they try to trip us up all the time and say things like, well, why would you vote for a guy who the KKK endorses? And I don't try to throw my family out there. I said, I got family that was like, they were criminals growing up, and they got their lives together, and they're able to vote. So what do you look like saying, well, I got cousins that rob people and cousins that, got in trouble for stealing and stuff. So they're going to be voting, and guess what? They're going to be voting Trump. So what do I look like saying, well, you got criminals that's voting for Donald Trump. It's like, just because the KKK endorsed Donald Trump openly denounced them. There's people that follow you. There's people that follow me. And we all got our differences. There's people that know that I'm a full-blown, all-out, loving God Christian. I got atheists that follow me, and they actually donate to the channel. Now, what if somebody try to twist it and say, how are you a Christian when you got atheists donating to your channel and they're supporting what you're doing? It has nothing to do with that. It's just a twist of the enemy. And sorry, folks, not going to work. ABL, love you. Nice meeting you, man. Keep doing what you're doing. Everybody else, hello to all of you. I hope you all are doing well. Stay to fight. I can't wait to see this thing. It's going to be like watching a Super Bowl party to watch this thing announced. And y'all say prayers for me, because I'm going to be speaking at a Trump rally here in Central Illinois. And you all have a blessed night. ABL, be good, bro.
Thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
Absolutely.
All right. Shout out to Modern Renaissance, man. You guys go ahead and subscribe to his channel right now if you're not subscribed already. Yeah, I met him at the Blexit event in D.C. Real good dude. So y'all go check him out. Modern Renaissance Man. Matter of fact, I'm going to put a link to his channel in the chat box. So you guys can go ahead and subscribe to him right now. Okay. Subscribe to. And I'm going to put that in there a few times, and then we're good to go. All righty. Thank y'all again for being here. Definitely appreciate you guys. If you enjoyed what you're hearing so far, if you enjoyed the content, give me a thumbs up, share the video, like the video, do all that good stuff. Let me get to the next one here. All right, let's go. 631, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hey, this is Jay Toobin from New York.
All righty, what's going on?
Is my camera working?
No, it's not.
Okay, well, I guess we'll just have to go audio.
Alrighty.
I had a concern. I wanted to discuss Texas. I'm not concerned about Texas in 2020, but going forward, it looks like it may be increasingly problematic for the Republicans. If you look at an electoral map of Texas, the southernmost counties and districts, they're all blue. And that's mostly from illegal immigration. It's from anchor babies, DACA kids, stuff like that. Now, Texas can't stop leftists from moving from California and other states to Texas because those are Americans moving there. But after Trump finishes the wall, he really needs to deport all of the illegal aliens. He can't amnesty the DACA kids. And he had mentioned issuing one or more executive orders about ending the anchor baby scam and saying that just because illegal aliens have a child here, it doesn't become a citizen. That's supposed to be what the law means, and he said he was going to issue this executive order. I never know what happened about it. Ann Coulter rails about it all the time. But if Texas flips, it has 38 electoral votes. If they flip blue, that's minus 38 for the Republicans, plus 38 for the Democrats, which is a 76-point switch. If that happens, Republicans could never win the presidency ever again. So I just wanted to know your thoughts about Texas and it becoming less red over time.
I mean, that could happen. That could happen, but I doubt it. I doubt that it would flip blue. But also, it's not going to be, if that was to happen, then it wouldn't, the country would not remain static. So there would be other things happening at the same time. So what if you have certain states where, like Virginia, for example, where they go back to being red? That's possible, because the thing about Virginia, it used to be a red state. I'm from Virginia. The problem is D.C. Now, if you have more of the black vote and also some of the Hispanic vote go red, that could change Virginia, because that's a high black population state. It's like, what, 30%? It's a high percent. And some of the hotspot areas like Norfolk, Roanoke, Richmond, and D.C., or the D.C. area. And another one, maybe Maryland. You can have some states that flip the other way. And Texas, I don't think it would necessarily flip, because also with more counties becoming blue, you got more people that are red moving there. So it might kind of be a balancing effect. You might have more blue coming in, but also more red coming in a deeply red state already. So that might kind of slow it down. So I think that it's possible, but I doubt it. And there's going to be other things happening in the country at the same time. You're going to have more conservative voters in different places that may flip those states the other way.
Well, if you look at Virginia, Virginia used to be red. Now it's blue, mostly because there are counties like in suburbs near Washington, D.C. So they're all swamp creatures. They're bureaucrats that get their job through the Democrats, or they're career bureaucrats that are leftists, and they turned Virginia blue. I'm not really sure how many other states are in. I see New Hampshire possibly eventually turning red, possibly. It looks like the Rust Belt, Trump has made big inroads there. But Texas is a big prize, and I think a lot of it, you hear all the time, and I don't know if it's true or not, but you look on Facebook and you see people talking, and they say, oh, all these people from California are fleeing California, they're moving to Texas, and they're bringing their bad politics with them. And that you can't fix, because if they're going to move, they're going to move. They're Americans. You can't stop them at the border of Texas and say you can't move here. All you can do is try to persuade them. But as far as the illegal aliens go, Trump can throw them out. He said he was going to. He never really got around to. I mean, he did throw some of them out, but not all of them. DACA is still in flux. But that executive order about, you can run over from Mexico, have a baby here, and the baby becomes a citizen. He said he was going to fix that, and he hasn't. And it's very worrisome to me. Like I said, if Texas flips, it's all over. And it's not going to happen in 2020. And I see some of your commenters saying, it's not going to happen now. But 2028, 2032, it could happen. And it's just something that Republicans and conservatives have to keep in mind. And the only one that could really do something about it in the short term, I think, is Trump.
Well, I see what you're saying, but I think that the entire country is not going to just be static at the same time. There's going to be other changes that go on. So we can't just say, okay, let's focus on Texas. Let's focus on other parts of the country. California may go the other way. Who knows? You know, they could flip red. So things can happen. At one point, California was red and it went blue. And Virginia was red, then it went blue. It can go the other way too. So let's keep an eye on the entire country and see what's going on. And I think that what we're doing right now, as far as the Supreme Court justices and, you know, being conservative, kind of being a counterculture kind of thing, and a lot of the young kids thinking about being political a little bit earlier, and a lot of them are leaning more towards conservative. I think that'll help out a lot towards the future of the country. So I'm not too concerned about that, but I would say just stay vigilant. But thank you for the call. Definitely appreciate you.
Thanks again, and I missed you having those 2 weekends where the 2 Saturdays where you didn't do the call-in show. I know you were doing good work down in D.C., but keep up the great work, and thanks again.
Oh, no problem. Thank you for the call.
Take care. Bye-bye.
All righty. Let me get to the next one here. All right, call on line. Speaker 2757. Caller, can you hear me? 757.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Hey, this is Cindy Minnie. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good. Can't complain. About yourself.
Good. I'm calling from Virginia.
Oh, yeah. I see your area code out there in 7 cities.
Yep. So, you know, I hate it because Virginia Beach, I mean, it looks like we're going to go red here in Virginia Beach, but then you got, like you said, the cities like in Norfolk and Portsmouth, and I don't know why they keep voting Democrat. It's just earth-shattering. But I wanted to mention about Texas. Now, it was brought up by the Democrats to make Puerto Rico and even D.C. a state, which D.C., if you read the Founding Fathers, there's a reason why D.C. was a district and not a state. So I'm just thinking, and it's in the Texas Constitution, that they can break up into 5 states. So if the state becomes that, I'd say divided, that the counties in the southern half are, you know, becoming blue and so different to the rest of the state, technically they can break up into 5 states. So that'd be interesting to see if that even plays out.
Yeah, California may also do that, because that was a story I talked about a few years ago, actually, right here on the channel, where they were talking about, you know, they want to have Northern California be called Jefferson, and they wanted to break up Southern California. Because, I mean, it's a really big state. It's humongous.
Right.
Like on the East Coast, you got like 8-9 states in that same amount of geographic space. So that could happen. People talking about, they're concerned about California and Texas, but they're not looking at what could happen in the future as far as kind of like balkanization, states breaking apart, and that being a whole different ball of wax.
So do you know if that's in California's constitution that they could break up?
Well, I'm not exactly sure about the law, but there was a measure and it didn't get blocked. I think that was something that they were trying to vote on, but I'm not really sure what happened to it. So I think they're able to break up. I just don't know what the legality of it is.
Because, you know, Texas was like kind of its own country for a while before they joined the Union. So that is definitely in their constitution. So I don't know. Crazy times.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, thanks for your show. I'm really enjoying it tonight.
Well, thank you for your call. Definitely appreciate you.
All right. Thanks. Bye.
All right. Great call. Let me get to the next one here. The phone lines are blowing up. If I can't get you on anytime soon, y'all just keep on trying. All right, caller line. I'm speaking to 617.
Hey, what's going on, man? Hey, so now 50 Cent is the new tax policy advisor for the American people.
The tax policy advisor. What do you mean?
Because he's talking about tax policy that I have no idea what he's talking about. He goes out, retweet a video from Fox News without having no idea, and talking about taxes going to do quadruple and triple. That's just not true.
So what did he say? What did he say exactly?
The tax is going to increase double, triple, quadruple. It's just not true. What is the top marginal rate right now for earned income? Do you know?
What's the top rate? Like 33, 34?
No, it's 37.
Oh, close enough.
What is the plan? What is on the Biden plan planning to increase from 37 to what?
The top rate, I don't know.
No. but you should know. I mean, you're attacking the man. You're talking about, we're going to quadruple. The tax is going to be two times, 3 times.
No,
but you don't even know what his plan is.
The top rate is not the equivalent to the effective rate in the state. Because if it was the top rate, then it wouldn't have been broken down by state because the top rate is a federal rate.
Okay. But that's what I'm saying. So what much is going to increase? So the tax rate for the different states is going to increase so much. You tell me what is the top marginal rate for him now?
What?
What is the top marginal rate under Biden's plan from now? It's 37 now under Trump, right?
I mean, I just told you I don't know, so why you asking me the same question again?
Because so how could you talk about something that you have no clue or you have any?
First of all, like you comparing two different things. So no, you had a nice argument prepared, but you're wrong. Your argument is totally wrong. You're talking about a top marginal rate. The top marginal rate is a flat rate that comes from the federal government. That's not the equivalent to the effective rate that each state would pay based upon other factors that are in the state. You know what you're talking about. That's going to combine your state income taxes and stuff like that. See, you're wrong. You're just dead wrong. Like, no, I'm not wrong. Like what you got to do? I'm gonna talk, sir. What you got to do is just come back and come up with a better argument than that. You had a nice argument prepared, but your argument was wrong. And the funny part is that when I talk, can't nobody hear you, but your argument is wrong. You're talking about the top marginal rate from the federal government compared to the effective rate. That's not how that works at all. But go ahead. Go off.
Okay, so you're wrong. The tax marginal rate from 37 is going to go to 39.6%. That's a 2.6 risk increase. So it's not going to break the bank. It's not true. Now, the only problem that I see is when it comes to payroll taxes, there's going to be an increase from the marginal rate 6.25% for the first for up to 127,000. Now it's going to go to 400,000. That is good. That might be a little bit of an increase. People paying a little bit more taxes, but it still is not going to go up so much. Another thing, the only branch of government could change tax policy is the legislative branch. It's not him. So that's his proposal, but it's going to go to Congress. He's going to have to negotiate the Social Security.
So Biden can't pass tax cuts.
Well, I mean,
yes or no?
He's going to give tax. He's going to give
yes or no,
tax
sir,
for
please,
individuals.
sir. Yes or no?
Okay. What?
Yes or no?
What do you say?
See, you ain't not even listening.
What was your question?
See,
what is your question?
Try listening, and then you'll be able to know what the question is. The question was, Biden can't pass tax cuts? He can't do that?
He's going to have tax cuts.
Okay, so
like
you said, he can affect taxes, yes? From executive branch.
He's going to have tax cuts, and he's going to have tax increases. Middle class is going to have the largest taxes in the U.S. history right now. Not U.S. history, but it's going to be pretty big, pretty solid. First-time home buyers, they're going to get a $15,000 refundable tax credit in the first home that they buy. It's going to stimulate the economy, and it's going to create jobs. It's going to have tax credit for solar panel companies and also fuel companies. So you got to balance out. You can't just say that you're going to cut taxes and then the deficit keep ballooning. It's at what, $27 trillion now? So before you even listen to a rapper that is stealing his music.
What did he say? He didn't say anything. What did 50 Cent say?
My thing is you got to do your homework first, and then you could come out with your argument.
Listen to a rapper. What did he say?
He said that, I don't care if Trump is a racist, he doesn't support black people, but I'm paying too much on taxes. I guarantee you that knucklehead don't even know what his tax rate is.
Oh, okay. So
if I ask him.
So I mean, how much do you make? How much do you make, sir? Are you a millionaire? Are you a millionaire like 50 Cent is?
Abandon that. Let me go back to Ice Cube.
Are you a millionaire? 50 Cent is. 50 Cent been a millionaire for a long time. Hold on, 50 Cent been a millionaire for a long time. You're not just no moron on the street. You know, like if you were to give him $1 million, you probably spend that in the first 3 months and be broke. 50 Cent been rich for a long time, so I think he knows a little bit about money and how taxes work. You know, he's not had any kind of tax problems or any kind of weird stuff going on, so he probably knows a little bit about money, probably more than you do. All right, but let's go ahead.
How about Ice Cube?
All right, make it quick. We don't got that much time.
I know the problem is you guys, and I know you used to promote your YouTube channel, followers, musicians, and artists that have no idea how government works, don't know anything about tax policy, but you guys use them.
So what did Cube say that was wrong? What did Cube say that was wrong?
Well, this is the problem with Ice Cube, though. Okay.
No. The question was, sir, listen to me. Sir. The question was, sir, listen. The question was, what did Cube say that was wrong?
Well, he didn't say any specifically that is wrong.
Okay. So he didn't say anything wrong. I got you. So what's the problem?
He didn't say anything specifically that is wrong. I didn't say that it is
so
wrong.
What's the problem then?
But let me tell you what is wrong with what he going, saying that, I'm joining Trump because he want to pass this black agenda.
He didn't say that. He didn't say that. He didn't say that. He said he was joining Trump.
He said he's supporting Trump. He said he want to work with Trump.
That's then the same thing as joining them. You said joining. Then the same thing is, okay, if I have a plan and both sides come to me, whoever trying to do something, we can work together. That's not the same thing as I'm going to join you and campaign for you. That's the same thing.
He's going to work with Trump because he's on power. Another thing that he does say, there's no way he could pass a black agenda. There's no such a thing. You cannot provide any type of funding approved by the Congress that benefits one specific group. That's unconstitutional.
Oh, you can't. So what's DACA?
DACA did not only benefit Latinos. Benefit, you could be Chinese.
You said one group though. So it's a group of people.
You could be from Norway.
You said group. Wait, sir. You said group, not race. So let's not play games with the words. You said group, not race.
No.
So are you going to change it now to race, sir? Are you going to change it now to race? Or are you going to stick with group? You said group. You said you can't pass a thing just for one group only. But DACA specifically helps one group. Yes. So let's not play that game.
That's not. Show me the legislation that said that helps. It's just not true. You could come from England. A group of people could come from.
All right. So it's a group though. The group is people that came here illegally as kids. That's the group. Let's not play them games. You got things for the LGBTQ, ABCDEFG community, things for illegal aliens, things for certain groups, religions, and everything else. So let's not play that game. And beyond that, Cube is not saying, "Hey, my plan is going to get implemented fully by Trump." It's whatever we can do to get some things from my plan onto the books or out there and have a conversation, maybe get some things done. Let's go ahead and do it. Because Biden told me, nope, wait till after their election. Talking about, we don't got time for that. But they got their own plan out there. They didn't even want to adjust. Okay, Trump had his own plan and they adjusted. Biden could have did the same thing, but they don't care about Cube or his vote or anything else. But thank you for your call, man. Definitely appreciate you. All right, let's get to the next call here. And thank y'all for being here. You guys are the best audience anywhere on the internet. 780, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to? 780, hello. Going once. All right. 912, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Good to.
All right, hello. All right. Caller. All right. I mean, okay. I see you guys are like some people maybe not understand how to maybe it's just me, but when you answer the phone, please be ready to answer. When you call in, have your phone right here. If you're trying to watch the stream, it's going to be delayed, so please don't do that. All right, let's get to the next one. 780, you're in the line. Who am I speaking to?
Anthony.
Yes. Hey.
Brian Logan.
What's going on?
So you executed the mute button on our best friend Ivan. Are they going to do that to Trump?
Oh man, that's good. That's $1 million question right there.
That's all I could think about.
Yeah, you know what? I kind of want to see it happen because I want to see how if they're going to use the mute button, how are they going to use it? I really want to see that happen.
I think that you use it judiciously, but I think we're all like, the whole world is looking to November the 3rd. I mean, this is really weird. Who needs Netflix? You know, the Obamas think that they own it. And,
right.
You know, all these other people. When I cringe when Cigar Box calls in because I keep away from Canadian politics, but something just came out that was leaked from the left, and 30% of them do not like the lockdowns that are about to be imposed on Canada, which means no travel between cities.
Wait, hold on. So you can't do any travel between cities in Canada?
This is what they think they're going to do in December. And my take on this, my brother, he lives in Virginia. He does technical support, like he's involved with the government. And the border has been locked down. Trudeau just extended the lockdown for 30 more days between the U.S. and Canada. This is really serious stuff. So what I see is that I just see this big play, and I see that Trudeau bent over and took it from the Chinese, and he's trying to, show them that he's a good boy and he's going to do what they say in Canada. And Trump, this whole thing is about nationalism and bringing, jobs and manufacturing and everything back. Your callers, I think there are a lot of people who are afraid of what's going to happen after November the 3rd. And if you really think it's going to get worse, then you need to just appreciate every single second that we have before that. Like the debate, I've watched Trump's rallies, and like 90% of what he says is the same, but then when he goes off script, he shows his true self, and he really loves the United States. He loves America, no matter what you say. And all these things are being slapped in our faces, all these crazy, I feel like we're kind of living in Sodom and Gomorrah. The laptop, if anyone on the right did any of these things, they would be persecuted forever by the so-called moral left. And I won't keep you, but I'm just really happy that I got through. I'm in quarantine lines in Canada when I get into stores, like we're wearing these, I call them face diapers because we're just breathing in our own what. There are people in line that are they're speaking up here like crazy, and Canadians are very kind, we're very polite, all that stuff. And I have registered nurses, and what I do, I look at someone in line and all I do is cross my eyes, and that's enough of a signal. Mm-hmm. And this nurse said, I am a registered nurse, and she screamed in the store. There were 50 people all in this line. We were yelled at because we didn't follow the right, arrows. And she just said, everybody knows this is BS. So I just see us all, we're all living in a powder keg. You're someone that has really, I think I started calling in 3 years ago. And you are such a solid rock for so many people. And your beautiful wife, we are meant to be partners. And when people allow their kids to take hormone blockers when they're 10 so that they will never be able to have a partner and have a family, our families are under assault.
That's right.
And there's someone called Salty Cracker who says let the salt flow. And if you, if you're in the if you're in the middle of the jungle and all that stuff, if you sprinkle salt, the parasites kind of shrivel up. And I know I'm going off on a tangent, but I don't get to call in often. And just letting you know, you are a rock. You're doing wonderful work. Thank you so much.
Well, thank you for the call. I definitely appreciate you.
So one last question. Do you think the debate's going to happen?
Oh, yeah, it'll happen. We pretty much right here. It'll be tomorrow. So it's definitely going to happen for sure. Yeah, it has to happen at this particular point because, the only way that it would not happen is if Biden cancels, and that'd just look really bad. So, yeah, it'll happen. But thank you for your call. I definitely appreciate
that Kamala Harris's husband introduced himself as his wife was the next president.
That was from the primary, though. That was from the primary.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. You take care.
All right, now.
Bye.
Yeah, I did see that video with her husband saying that, I'm married to the next president, but that was from the primary. Let me go to the next one here. Or maybe I'm wrong. I'm pretty sure it was from the primary. I think I saw that before. 989, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
That was my primary. Yeah.
989, hello. Hello, who am I speaking to?
Hi, this is Patty Joe. Excuse me, I'm sorry, Patty Joe Pickleman. Good Lord, I apologize. I all started coughing. I was curious. I had a thought about something with the laptop thing, kind of back to the laptop thing. I was wondering if there was your thoughts about whether he might have left that laptop there deliberately, thinking he was hiding it if his house ever got raided. I mean, he's an active addict.
Well,
so it just kind of makes me wonder. And then maybe forgot about the 90-day thing.
Well, I mean,
do you think it's a possibility? Like kind of like stashing it there?
Anything is possible, but see that'd just be silly on his part. That'd be a thing that somebody on drugs would do, because why would you hide it at a place where you put your name on it, got your signature, they saw you coming there, they saw your face, know who you are. It wouldn't make a whole lot of sense. It's like trying to hide a gun at the police station. It's like, what are you doing?
Right. But if you're an active addict, you're not really thinking with a lot of sense.
That's true.
But I mean, I don't know. It was just a thought. I wanted to go back really quick to that caller too that was talking about states turning red and blue. I live in Michigan, and Michigan's been a blue state for years. But I got to tell you, I see people changing in droves, and I mean droves. People here are fed up. Like, our state's been almost all but destroyed because of the Democratic Party. And, I mean, everywhere. I'm 60 years old. I've never seen anything like it before. I mean, people here are, like, going hard for red right now, and I'm hoping it stays that way.
Yeah, hopefully so, because, I mean, at a certain point, when you got crazy things going on, you're definitely going to need a change to make some things go the right way. So, yeah, hopefully that whole thing stays up.
Well, I appreciate everything you're doing. I just joined your team tonight. I don't do this a lot, but the last few weeks I've been watching your channel, and I got to tell you, I mean, I'm 60, and you're one of the few people, like, when I watch, it gives me hope for the future, for people younger than me, because God knows we need it.
Well, definitely.
We need it. Well, you have a great night, and same to everybody out there, and I appreciate you taking my call. And I apologize for coughing there when you answered. I was taking a drink of water.
Oh, that's all right. Thank you for the call. Definitely appreciate you.
All right. Thank you, hon. Have a good night.
Let's get to the next one here. Nippin, what's going on with you, boss?
Whoa.
Hey, I got you, man. What's happening?
Everything's going fine. Let me just mute everything else.
I got you.
And yeah, so 50 Cent is finally free.
That's right. Finally free. Can say what he wants, do what he wants.
At this point, people are going to start saying cancel Hollywood.
Well, because they don't like that 50 is becoming a Trump supporter, as are other people.
Yeah. So I think slowly but surely Hollywood will become, conservative again.
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah, because for a long time Hollywood was conservative.
Well, I think even if they don't become all the way conservative, there may be a definite a shift, and they won't just be so saturated with liberalism.
Yeah. So it starts with Hollywood. And since Hollywood is in California, you know what that means. And
well,
since
that means
most of these celebrities also live in California.
Right, yeah.
So the tides will slightly turn towards... First, it's going to be slightly... The tides are going to turn sooner or later. Same way they're turning with Texas.
Right. I mean, do you think Texas will you think it'll become blue, or will it stay red?
I hate to say it, ABL, but the way things are going, it could become a swing state.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, as in, like, it's really... I mean, like, I hate to say it, though. But I'm being realistic here.
Yeah, I mean anything's possible, but I think that you're gonna have other things that happen in the country that might prevent Texas from
What
going.
I see in the next 50 years is a complete flip-flop of how we vote. So you'll see more states in the north that are red, like Maine, New York, New Hampshire. I already predicted that all of Maine will vote for Trump this year. Last year it was just the first at large or the second. I can't remember, but some did vote for Trump.
Okay, so I see what you mean though. Like California that might be able to go red. Maybe you think California could go red?
I do think California could go red. Yeah.
And then if California goes red, that means Texas could go blue. So it might just, like you said, it might flip flop.
Yeah, precisely.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Let me. Yeah, this is how I see the tides. Start sharing. I'm just sharing the screen with you.
Yeah, it doesn't work.
Really? You can't see it?
I can, but I can't. So it doesn't work.
Okay, so you can't see the presidential map in front of you.
Like
no?
I can see the map, but they can't see it because it won't show.
Yeah. It doesn't matter if they can't see it, but look, this is how I see it working out.
Okay.
Look.
All right, we live on the air, boss, so we gotta keep keep talking.
You see what I mean, don't you?
Yeah.
And so that's how I see the map looking come November.
I got you. Okay.
Yeah, that's how I see the map looking come November.
So basically, for those that can't see it, it's just like, kind of an inverted map. Maybe I could put a link to it in the box, but it's kind of hard for me to talk about that when nobody can see it. But we can keep moving here.
Yeah, I'll put it in the Discord. I'm in your Discord server.
I got you.
Okay. So that's how I see it. Trump with 371, Biden with 167.
Gotcha.
Yeah, let me stop screen sharing now. Stop.
All right, let's keep on rocking here, boss.
Right. So, one of our MPs apparently has destroyed BLM.
Yeah, you saw that. What was her name? Kemi. I forget her. I can't remember her name.
I'll search her up. I might know who she is. After our call, Kemi Gibber?
Nah, it's Badenoch. Badenoch. And you spell it Kemi.
Okay. So was she black herself?
Yeah, she black.
Oh, even better.
Yeah, I think she's a conservative. And in the conservative
she
party.
Must be. She can't be part of the Labour Party.
No, definitely not talking like that. No.
So and Trump versus Fauci.
That's right. Now, you see what's going on with that?
Yeah, he apparently. Well, when Trump wins re-election, he is gonna get fired.
Oh yeah, it's a wrap. I think November the 4th. It's a wrap. Go ahead and get your walking papers and see you later. Win or lose, you're out.
I mean, if I was Trump, I wouldn't wait to be re-elected. I'd hand him his P45 right now.
Yeah, I'm with you. See, I think the only reason why he hasn't been fired is because it'd just be it'd just be kind of damaging to the whole situation. So keep him on for now, but after a while, go ahead and let him get his walking papers because he's not doing the more he talks, the more he's on media, the more damage he does. But I got a few more calls to get to, Nippin, so thank you for the call as always, man. Definitely appreciate you.
It was nice catching up with you, ABL.
Oh, definitely, man. All righty.
I shall speak to you on Sunday.
Yeah, Sunday your time, Saturday my time. I got you, boss.
Okay, speak to you then.
All right, now, peace.
Peace.
All right, nipping all the way from London town. I know it's like old dark 30 over there right now, way late in the night. But let's get to a few more here. The number is always in the description box and also on the ticker right here below the screen. And thank you if you're listening to this on your favorite audio streaming platform, whether it be Apple iTunes, Google Play, Spotify, Stitcher, Anchor, wherever you are. Please give me a 5-star rating, a review, a share, whatever you can do over there. I'd most certainly appreciate you. Also, if you're watching this on YouTube, go ahead and like the video. Make that gray like thumbs up button, make that blue, and share the video. And if you're not subscribed yet, I don't know what you're waiting on. Go ahead and subscribe to the channel right now and click the bell if you've not done so you're able to get notified whenever I go live and/or post a new video. Also, I got some more merch coming out because I'm in the process of changing my merch over. That'll be available very, very, very soon. I'm going to do an announcement right when it's ready to pop. So for now, you can still go to ablmerch.com and get whatever I have on that particular site. I may update that site as well, and then I'm gonna go to a new distributor and we can get some better turnaround and stuff like that. All right. Let me get to the next call. 651, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hi, this is Russell from Minneapolis.
All righty, man. What's going on?
Hey, I enjoyed listening to your show. Just a quick comment. I live fairly close to where George Floyd was murdered, and just wanted to hear your thoughts. I kind of don't agree with your position on Black Lives Matter, but just wondering, kind of if you can just briefly tell me what your thoughts are, because I feel kind of strongly about the Black Lives Matter movement. I'm on the pro side, so if you can just tell me some of the reasons why they're not to be supported, or whatever your stance is. I'm not too keen of a listener, sorry.
Okay, well, I'll tell you just a general statement, because it's kind of a general question. I'm not a fan of Black Lives Matter because they do more harm than good. Okay, you got all these so-called protests that always descend into riots in a lot of these big cities like Seattle, Washington, Portland, Oregon, New York, Los Angeles, Minneapolis, wherever there's some kind of incident that happens. There's always some kind of violence, and it usually winds up in a black person getting shot, killed, or having their business burned down. Okay, you got David Dorn, you got Atalia Marie Kelly, you got Patrick Underwood, you got a lot of black people that are severely impacted. You had Sequoia Turner, an 8-year-old little girl that was killed by Black Lives Matter so-called protesters out there in Atlanta, Georgia. There have been more black folks that have been killed in these Black Lives Matter and/or Antifa so-called protests than were killed by the police unjustly or justly in all of 2019. So it's like, what are we really doing? Unarmed black folks that were killed by police, there were more black folks killed in Black Lives Matter protests than were killed in all of 2019. So I'm just not a fan of it because it just hurts us.
Well, what is your opinion on James Mattis, Trump's former chief of staff? He's a deeply conservative, handpicked by Trump to make, and he wanted nothing but good for Trump, and he's on that side. And he said about Black Lives Matter that even if the whatever 1.001% commit violent acts, that it still is a good. What he said was that it still is fighting for the Constitution, fighting for equal treatment under the law, and we shouldn't be distracted by the small minority of bad actors on the right or the left. Let's be fair. If this was a right-wing movement, I wouldn't unfairly malign the whole movement just because of a couple of bad actors. Do you think you think you're being fair to the movement by characterizing it according to a few bad actors, or why would you disagree with James Mattis?
He has an opinion. I don't got to agree with him. I don't care who he is. I don't care. He could be. It doesn't matter who he is or what. He could be Trump himself. I'm going to disagree because I don't agree with it. He don't have no dog in the fight, really, because nobody white is really the ones that are dying. It's mostly black people that are dying. Okay, it's mostly white folks that are collaborating with black folks to kill other black folks, all in the name of Black Lives Matter. Okay, I saw a young man get his teeth knocked out by a guy that was not even black at one of these so-called protests. So he don't have no dog in the fight. He can believe whatever he wants. That's okay. But he has no dog in the fight. I do. All right. Okay. So I got people that are still in these kind of areas. I got family in Kenosha, Wisconsin, right where the whole thing happened with Jacob Blake. So people that I know personally, relatives of mine, are right there in the mix of that. So he has no dog in the fight. Okay. If he had to live there, if he had family there that they were affected, he might think a little bit differently.
Yeah. Well, I know you have a lot of callers, so thanks for your time. Maybe I'll call back in, talk another time, huh?
Thank you for the call.
Taking the call.
No problem. Thank you for the call.
Thank you. Anyway.
All right. Yeah, Matt Dog Mattis. If you said that, then no dog in the fight. You could say that from wherever you live in Quantico. You live in nice little area. You can be shooted from that, and you could see, oh, they're really great. Black Lives Matter, but you don't really care about those that are killed. If not for the so-called movement to try and get so-called equality, you would have less black folks that have been dead that are dying, and not only those that were just killed directly by the so-called protests, but also those that are killed as a result of the lack of police. All the movement does is say, hey, police, back off. We don't need you. Now you got 20%, 30% rise in criminal violence, all kind of homicide and just crazy stuff. Atlanta, Detroit, Philadelphia, Chicago, Wisconsin, LA, free out of Washington, Portland, Oregon. And the main victims here are black people. So, like I said, Mad Dog can say that, and that's fine, but no dog in the fight. He don't care. Like I was saying before, I said it in a different video, a lot of these BLM supporters don't care if the black on black murder rate jumps 20%, 30%, 100%, 400%. As long as they can say, well, the police weren't involved, that's all that really matters. My goal is to get the murder rate down in the country, period, regardless of what race you are, okay? Especially among blacks where it's already too high. Get that down rather than just saying we're fighting for rights and having the rate go back up. You're going backwards. And for what? Nothing's going to change. The LA riots. What was the change after that? People getting beat up, killed, and everything else for what? LA is still LA. All right. And if you want to live away from that, go up to the canyon, go up to Calabasas, go up to where Alyssa Milano lives at, rather than being right there in the ground. But I digress. That was a rant from that was on my chest. Let's get to the next call. All right. 912, you know who I'm speaking to.
At one of these so-called protests.
912, hello.
Can you hear me now?
I hear you.
All right, that's good. I called earlier, and I know I got some water in my phone, but yeah, the information like warfare that's going on. You know what I'm saying? Because like the art of the deal and war and negotiating, and I've been listening to a bunch of calls like that you've been taking, and a lot of people just want to say a bunch of stuff and argue and fight about and try to make points. And I love listening to you and your patience. Like there's so many things that you do like a really good job at in dealing with, I'm not going to say fake news. I mean, you're dealing with like random callers talking about stuff, but the way you do it is pretty good. I mean, I don't have all the facts like you do. You're real on point with everything that you say.
Oh, thank you, man. I appreciate it.
Yeah, this is my third time calling in, and sometimes you get off point, you get distracted, you're like, oh my gosh, he answered my call, and you get excited and you go off on tangents. But it's information warfare we're going on. I mean, come on. Like Biden, what you can say, what you can't say. We can't say Hunter. We can't say a laptop from hell. Like what's appropriate and inappropriate. I mean, I'm just trying to talk, just like you're trying to do. Share information. This is what's going on in the world. This is what's going on in America.
Yeah,
Keep America great.
I think we all understand what's going on because you have you have big tech controlled by the left, the extreme left as well. Anything that is against what they want to put out there, they're actively censoring it and not even trying to hide. Before it was kind of covert. They might do little things to where you might not notice it. They might, like on Facebook, prime example, they might try to like reduce your page's reach without
Change
you
the
really
policy.
noticing. Yeah, just little things that they'll do little things, and they'll try to do it without you really noticing. But now they just mask off and they're outright censoring things that will help conservatives and harm liberals. It's a fact. And anything that helps them and will harm us, they don't censor. Like the whole thing going on right now with Rudy Giuliani, they're going to boost that up rather than hiding it like they did with Hunter Biden.
Hey, I heard something today. They call it the Streisand effect, I think. Like Barbara Streisand in her name. They call it the Streisand effect, to where they try to censor, but the censor gets it more. More people are like, why are you covering it up or censoring it?
Yeah.
So then it actually gives the opposite effect of what they. And I've heard that term before. I never knew what it was till today.
Yeah, it makes sense because it's like, okay, why are you trying to hide that? And like, maybe I want to see what's going on that you're so, if it's so important to hide, maybe I should see it. So yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, but I mean, I appreciate everything you do. And once again, is like truth, reality. I mean, because so much is technology based. I mean, we got vaccines, we got health. I mean, a lot of people are interested in different aspects of stuff. I mean, I understand a lot of people are scared of Corona. You know what I'm saying? The president of the United States got it. He took what he did. He had lots of doctors touching him. You know what I'm saying? He don't even like shaking hands. Everyone's different about different stuff. I mean, he likes steak with ketchup on it. Well done. Okay. There's lots of ways to cook your meat. You know what I'm saying?
Right. No doubt.
But I appreciate you taking my call, man. I mean, like I feel like I ramble a lot and you listen so much, but I feel like I wish I had a second to like actually think about something direct to ask you. Like, what do you think about just the information warfare game that's going on? Specifically, like big tech and censorship of discussing stuff, like even being able to discuss how the election's going on.
I got you. I'm gonna answer it. Then I got some more calls. But basically, like I was saying, it's all about just the left trying to censor whatever's going to hurt them and boost up whatever's going to help them. It's pretty obvious at this point. Like I said before, they were trying to hide it, trying to do things undercover, but now it's all about the left just trying to help themselves, and the mainstream media and also politics and big tech. They're all kind of it's like a tribunal, and they all work together to try and hurt us. And it was the same thing going on in 2016, the same exact thing, actually. It didn't work. Trump won. It'll be the same thing again this time, because one thing they can't really artificially manufacture is the enthusiasm. It doesn't really exist for the left, but it does exist for the right. And I think that will be the deciding factor in the election. But thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
All right. Thank you, ABL. Appreciate it.
All righty. Let's get to some more calls here. And you guys are the best audience on the internet. The number to call is 434-658-1220. Again, 434-658-1220. The number will always be in the description box below and also right here in the ticker whenever it decides to come up. All right, let's go ahead and go to it. Okay. All right, Skype caller, who do we have? Hello, Skype caller. Yes.
Oh, is this ABL's channel?
Yes, it is.
Excellent. ABL, I got you up. My bad. I was looking on the TV. I did what you just said not to do, to turn the TV on, be watching that. But what's up, ABL? It's Stigma Shooter 556. I sent a few super chats or whatever. Wanted to connect in with you on a personal level.
Oh, thank you for that, man. Definitely appreciate you. So what's going on with you? What's going on in your world?
You know, man, it's a lot going on. A lot of family disowning going on. I'm probably the only Republican in my family that's flipped over from Democrat after I took that veil off. And yeah, I'm kind of a lone soldier out here, but when I watch the channel, it's that connection. I'm a black man too, so you kind of not you know how that works a little bit, where some ignorance can kind of lead to other things. But but yeah, man, I just appreciate the channel. I appreciate everything that you put out. And whenever I got something on my mind, topic will come up with you, and that's always appreciated, man.
Thank you, man. Appreciate that.
For sure. And I just wanted to kind of touch in on the one thing that they're attacking us with the most, and it seems to be the ignorance of not only black people, but the ignorance of people as a whole. When it comes down to the taxes, when it comes down to even just general research of just Trump and his denouncing of racism. It's crazy how they just use our ignorance to their advantage like that. And I wish I could do more to change it, but man, it's tough.
Yeah, and it's pretty insulting too, because it's like, okay, some of these things are pretty basic, and they assume that we don't know it. And then the crazy part is that a lot of us don't know it, so we just play right into it. So if it was me and I was being treated like that, I mean, we are being treated like that. But if I didn't know a certain thing, and they assume I didn't know, I would be, I'll feel a few different things. I'll feel insulted, number one, and number two, I'll feel embarrassed. And then at that point, I'm going to go try to do a little bit of research on my own, or a lot of research, and figure things out for myself. So I would not allow the media to play on my ignorance and my emotions to get a certain thing done.
I feel you completely, ABL, on that. And that's kind of, I haven't been a Republican for too long, but now once I realized that they were pushed, or that veil that was on my eyes, once I lifted it up, it's like that's why we're so enthusiastic right now. That's why we're so that energy that we got right now, because that veil's lifted. We're seeing different. We're seeing clearly now. It's beautiful, honestly. But I haven't always been like this, but I'm glad to be on the right side.
Definitely, man. Appreciate that for sure.
For sure, AB. I won't keep you too long, man. I know you got the chats coming, calls coming. And, yeah, man, you stay up, stay blessed, and stay positive.
All right, thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
All right, brother. Stay up.
All right, great call. Excellent call. Yeah, that whole thing about these people, mainstream media, playing on your ignorance, like you don't know anything. The whole thing about the taxes, that was really one that kind of got on my nerves. It's like, all right, I understand taxes a little bit. I'm not a tax attorney or a tax professional, but come on. All right, I understand a little bit about taxes. I know Trump did not pay $750 in taxes in 1 year. I can read the article, and it says it right there in the article that they came out with, the New York Times, and that very same article with that $750 amount, that headline grabber, that clickbait, it says 1.1 million, or was it 1.1 or 1.0 within 4.2. So 1 million and then 4.2, that's called 5.2 million, that $1,500 or $750 in taxes. You see what I'm saying? I know how to add a little bit and read, but they think that you can't read or add. They think you're dumb, and they play on that. And unfortunately, it has worked.
Great call.
All right, Skype caller, what's going on?
What's up, buddy?
Everything's good, man. What's going on?
Oh, shoot, everything. You know that. It's been a good week to be an American this week.
No doubt, absolutely.
Yeah, so many nice things. How about your girl Beetlejuice, or man, whatever she is? What about today? She need more monies. She's out of monies.
Are you talking about the Chicago mayor?
Yeah.
Well, hey, you got to manage your money right. You can't be shutting the city down and running the business away. You got to do things right. So if you need more money, then you should have kept money that was there when you had it.
Right. I got $1, but I'm gonna spend $5 and holler at you about the other $4, I guess.
All right. Exactly.
Hey, yeah, but it's been a weird year, man. No NBA this year. That kind of felt, that was different. How about you?
Yeah, that was terrible. I mean, because I'm a big basketball fan, and man, everything that's going on, like especially with the whole Milwaukee Bucks thing when they had to walk out, because that's my team. That's been my team since I've been in high school. I'm talking about the Ray Allen days, Glenn Robinson, Sam Cassell, Tim Thomas. That was my team, and they've been my team. And then they had to be the one to walk out of the game. It's like, man, come on. I want to see Giannis go out there and dominate. But even I tried to see some of the highlights. I couldn't even really watch the highlights because it's just not the same in the crowd. They got BLM stuff on. It's a short season. It's a different time of the year. I really was kind of upset about that. Hopefully they come back and they can redeem themselves because this year, just throw it away. It's a throwaway year.
I'm not even counting it. You know what I mean? LeBron, he wants to tout it so he can get closer to Mike, but ain't nobody trying to hear that.
Nah, it don't count. Not at all.
Yeah, hey, just wanted to pat yourself on the back, pass it on to Jericho, Brandon, of course, all y'all, you know. We're almost to the end of the line. I feel like you've been fighting for so long, and you just like Trump, man. It's like you guys never quit. Brandon still got fight in him. You got fire in you, and it's just, you know, we all appreciate you. We love you, and just keep doing what you're doing. Man, I appreciate everything you've done and waking up people, man, because we need more like you, bro.
Thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
All right, Anthony. Stay up, bro.
I know.
Trump. All
yes,
right.
sir.
All right.
All right, great call. Yeah, Trump 2020 all day long. You know, I can't stop it, man. I can't stop fighting. I can't stop doing what I'm doing. I got to keep on going because now I'd have been called to it. I'd have been called into it. I got to keep on going. So I will keep on going for sure. Yeah, the fight never ends. Not at all. 864 on the line. Who am I speaking to?
What's up, boss? It's Palmetto Son from South Carolina.
All righty, man. What's going on?
Glad. Hey, I would just like to say that it's an embarrassment to me that the state of South Carolina actually got Joe Biden endorsed. And we need to look at this with Clyburn and Jamie Harrison and the way things are going on in our state. Instead of looking outside at the United States, we need to look inside of our own states and take care of our own state first.
Yeah, definitely. For sure.
Clyburn does not make sense at all. If you will listen to him, he cannot put a sentence together.
Oh, really? I've not really heard him speak. So is he kind of like Joe Biden, not really being able to communicate properly?
Yes, sir. If you'll go back and look when the primaries were going on in the state of South Carolina, and he was stumping for Joe Biden, he could not put a sentence together. But just because Clyburn said we should vote for Biden, everyone came out and voted for Biden.
Okay.
That's what put him over the top. And I hate that. I'm ashamed of it for our state.
Right.
Sir. ABL. I love your program, man. I love your show. I'm glad to get through, and I hope people from the state of South Carolina are listening, and I hope that people from the United States are listening, and they will take this advice. Take care of your state first. And we need to get Amy Barrett in. And I hope Lindsey Graham, which is up for the Senate against Jamie Harrison in the state of South Carolina, we need to get Lindsey Graham in. And go back and look at Clyburn when the primaries were going on in the state of South Carolina. You can check it out, boss.
Definitely. Will do.
Thanks for taking my...
All right, thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
Thank you. I appreciate you, ABL.
All right, great call. Yeah, I've not really heard James Clyburn speak. I may have, but not, paying any attention. So I'll check it out. All right, unknown caller, who do we have? Okay, unknown caller, got the heebie-jeebies and hung up. Let's get to the next one. 210, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hello?
Yeah, so who am I speaking to?
Oh, this is James from Texas. Hey, ABL. First off, just want to say thanks for all this work you put in. You know, it's nowadays you can't turn on the TV without seeing all this craziness. So it's nice to be able to watch somebody that really has good facts behind them, cares about the listeners. So just want to say thank you for that. And, you know, I'm from Texas, South Texas, which I heard a caller earlier talking about turning blue. And, you know, even in my own family, you know, some of the leaders in our family, big Democrat folks, and, you know, like they talk to, you know, kind of, we talk some politics, but they try to convert me. And I said, my grandfather, he passed away a couple months ago. He was older. He had dementia and things like that. It was his time to be called home. And, you know, I tell them, you know, you guys are talking about how Trump doesn't wear a mask and all these things. I said, but we go and have a birthday party. You know, we're Latinos, so, you know, a small party's still like 20, 25 people. I said, nobody's wearing a mask. We don't live together, and we all have our kids running around, but yet you want to talk about Trump. And, you know, it's just, I love my family, obviously, but it just goes to show it's kind of very hypocritical on that side. You know, at the start of the year, I had my own business. It was running for about 2 years, doing over $1 million in revenue. And COVID, I mean, it's destroyed it. And so I had to take on a job. I took on a job as a tax preparer, and then I was furloughed after 4 months. And I'm a single dad. You know, I'm a single dad that take care of my kids. Majority of the time, they're with me. Their mom, you know, a few years back went far lefty. And it just, and I'll tell you the even funnier thing, when we went to court, you know, we're both making about $50,000 a year at the time as a salary. And even though they said, hey, the kids, they'll stay with their father, majority of the time, you know, mom gets them Thursday every other weekend. They said, but we're not going to do any child support. I just said, wow, that's crazy. Even my attorney said, and I'll tell you, leading up to that, Matt, that day that we were in court, my attorney said, hey, look, they had thrown a couple deals my way, but the final deal before we actually went in with the judge said, you know, hey, your ex-wife or your soon-to-be ex-wife, because, you know, we're going to divorce that day. She said that she'll take the kids, but no child support. And I said, no, it's, you know, I was already kind of seeing, she's a good mom. She's not out drinking or partying, doing drugs or anything, but she was just kind of, you know, it just wasn't a good situation for them. They needed some stability and things like that in their life. And you know, in the very end, when we went that route, I just said, you know, whenever they talk about sexism and things like that, you know, when I tell somebody I'm divorced and I have 2 kids, they automatically assume they're with their mother. You know, even when it's with the teachers in school or things like that, they usually email her first. And, you know, I don't get too, you know, I'm pretty passive about that, you know, just, and I don't, you know, try to be friendly about it, but I'm just like, some things that we see in today's life, or even racism. They talk about racism. Well, you know, you're a black man, I'm a Latino man, and you have, you know, 2,000 people watching you, while, you know, Kamala has like 400 people watching her. You know what I mean? And I would say you know, I think it, and I'm sure you have people, I'm sure there's every color, you know, and both sides of the rainbow, if you know what I'm saying, every letter in the alphabet group that listening to your show. And, you know, it's just like you set the facts out there. And, you know, Trump, I'm a supporter of Trump. I don't agree with a lot of his, you know, some tweeting and things like that. Again, I'm kind of more of a passive person. I think the Democrats really need to worry about the next election, because if Mike Pence goes up for it, you know, I think he carries on the same policies, because Trump does have the right idea for this country. But, you know, if Pence carries that, and then with his demeanor on top of that, I mean, the Democrats, they're going to be in some real trouble there, too.
That's right.
But,
absolutely.
But again, that's all I had to say. I know you got a lot of callers. I think I tried to call in like 100 times tonight. So I appreciate you taking my call and taking that time, loving what you guys do. Tatum, and obviously Jericho over there. That's my Comedy Central right there, watching Jericho Green every day.
No doubt, man. No doubt, man. Thank you for your call. Definitely appreciate you.
All right, thank you. Bye-bye.
All righty, great call. Let's get to a few more here. And let me see where we at. 860, you're in the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hey, BL, it's Sonia. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good. Can't complain. How about yourself?
All right. It was interesting, that caller that you had that mentioned about he wanted the argument for BLM not being something to support. I think he mentioned bad actors. And I thought, I think we're beyond that, right? I think it's bad actors managed by bad people behind a bad organization. And the fact that they're attacking black people and no one's outraged about that is beyond me, because I saw that man that got his teeth kicked out. And I don't understand why that's not making black people everywhere angry.
Yeah, see, that's what I was saying before. It's like when these people, when black folks get attacked, they happen to be conservative, because I think he was conservative.
Mm-hmm.
People like that get attacked.
Yeah.
It could be by a white person, and they can call them all kind of N-words and everything else. A lot of the black liberals will join in and applaud it because they hate him too. So all the thing about racism and white supremacy goes out the window when there's a common enemy, regardless of what color they are. And it's really unfortunate, but that's the reality.
Yeah, exactly. Did you see that it was a video that was someone had posted it, and I think they closed his Facebook account because of this video. And on first sight, you would think it was a BLM march, but on a closer inspection, you'll see the Trump flags in the background, and their T-shirts said, drain the swamp. And they had their fists in the air and everything, and it was all black crowd, but they were there to back the blue. And they had the thin blue line flag and all that. I don't know if you got to see that video.
I think I heard about that, but I've not seen it. I need to do a little bit of research, check it out. So that sounds pretty good.
Yeah, and I'm not surprised why they cracked down on that man's page, which is ridiculous. And then another thing, I think it was in Florida. I saw a video of Kamala. She was speaking to some people. It wasn't a big crowd, and I don't know if it's because she saw Trump dancing to YMCA one too many times that she started like dancing in the rain or something. Did you see that?
Yeah, I saw that. She had like an umbrella doing some kind of little jig. I'm like, well, what is going on here? And it was like you said, like nobody there. There might have been a good 10 people out wherever barn she was in. It was just kind of strange.
And I don't know if that's the same time that she was, I don't know if this is the same state, because in another video that I saw, she was addressing the crowd in a really strange way. And I don't know if it's because we all know that Trump rallies are so pumped that they're trying to match that energy, because you would have thought she was an auctioneer, the way she was spilling out her thing, saying that la 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 la's on the ballot, and this is on the ballot, and that's on the ballot for 2020. Did you see her running off all those things on the stage too, speaking that way? It was really weird.
Nah, I didn't see that, but that's funny.
Yeah, like she was listing all the things that are going to be on the ballot in 2020, and she was speaking really fast, and it was really awkward. And I don't know if she's just going through the motions because they know this is not going to end well for them or what. But at least when Trump danced, I'm not saying the man has good moves, but he's jovial and is genuine and he's happy, and they hate that.
Right, absolutely. They don't like it at all. If they can do anything to try to upstage that or trying to, run in the parade, they'll do it.
And then I was thinking about the celebrities, because since the last time your show was on, I think 50 Cent came out the woodwork, and at least he's a bona fide endorsement. Whereas Ice Cube, to me, he was just in the middle. I don't know who else, was behind. Kirstie Alley, she's endorsed Trump, okay. And then I saw Matthew McConaughey on Fox 5. He was talking about a book that he was promoting, and he's totally down the middle. According to him, he's a centrist. But I was surprised because I saw him on Fox 5, so I thought that meant something. He said he didn't want to say who he was voting for, but he is from Texas, not from Austin. So I'm thinking that he may be a Trump supporter on the low, but calling himself middle ground. But one of the things that he said that I appreciated was that no matter who gets picked, accept it and move on. And nobody accepted it. And that whatever happens now, accept it and move on. And it's so true, because they never did accept it, and we're going through all this hell since 2016 as if it was an election year every year. It's like nonstop.
Yeah, it's the same thing, like I was saying before, the whole thing with the 2016 election. They still not, except that whole thing had moved on. They had the impeachment, then they had, even before the impeachment, it was the spying, then it was the impeachment, then it was the Ukraine call. It's a constant thing of never accepting it. But If you are not accepting it, you're not able to move on. You're going to be stuck in a rut. That's why people are on Instagram and TikTok screaming into their phones in their car, because they've not accepted the results of the election from 2016. And it's going to get worse come November the 3rd when the same thing happens again, and they got to accept it again, and they're not able to do it. That'd be really bad for them.
Now, I personally don't care about celebrity endorsements either way, because if I don't care when they, do it for Biden, I'm not going to care when they do it for Trump, although I give people who endorse Trump the most props, because we all know that's the road less taken, and they're going to catch the most heat, so I respect them when they do come out. But you know that people are going to discount 50 because he's rich, and they're going to say that he's only doing it for the taxes, which is what he said, and since the taxes only affect people who make above $400K, who cares? And it's true, a lot of us don't make $400K, so maybe the taxes won't affect us. But if they get rid of the corporations, they're going to take the jobs with them, right? Because of what the way they penalize them tax-wise.
Of course. People don't think that way. A lot of times, people that just want to be envious of rich people, they don't understand that if they work a job and they work for a rich person, then that is a human being that you work for. They have to pay taxes. They have to pay expenses. So if they can't afford to run a business anymore because of very high taxes, they'll just close up or fire you or do something to where it affects you. And then you have costs of business going up. So you're going to have goods go up, services go up, everything will go up. So you have a more expensive life due to, how money that is increased upon those that actually have it affects their business, which expects it affects the entire supply chain. People don't think that way. They just think about envy towards rich people.
When I worked in corporate America, those were the best years of my life. Now, I keep hearing that suburban moms are anti-Trump, and I find this so strange because I would think that they're likely housewives, well-to-do, they have families. I don't understand why they're not terrified of the liberal mobs and all the violence. So I'm thinking they're so far removed from the cities that they don't think it's going to come to them, especially if they're on the East Coast. We all know they probably don't have guns. So I'm wondering why it could be that a suburban mom is not for Trump, because it doesn't seem to make sense to me. I don't know if you thought anything about that.
Well, like you said, a lot of them are kind of far removed. They're not really in the city. Mm-hmm. Like a prime example is the McCloskeys up there in St. Louis. See, they were right in the city. They weren't out in the suburbs, and they had the mob descend upon them. So if you see things like that happening right around you, you have a different perspective than those that live way out in the county to where everything is Pleasantville. You don't really see what's happening.
Pleasantville.
Yeah, you don't see what's happening in the nitty-gritty city.
And what do you think about Obama campaigning for Biden? Is that like out of it's like not ordinary? I don't think anybody's ever done that before. I don't know. I have nothing to compare it to because I never paid mine before now.
No, they've done it. I think Obama, but see the thing, Obama did it for Hillary Clinton.
Yeah,
but he did it much earlier. He did it in September for Hillary Clinton, but now we're almost in November. He's talking about the 0 hour. It's about to be Halloween. They're about to be handing out candy maybe if they do that this year. So it's just kind of late. He's really late with Joe Biden because he doesn't really want to endorse him. He'd rather Joe Biden not even be out here running, but he is. So he's got to do.
Yeah, because he was late to endorse him. That's for sure.
Yeah, definitely.
And then my last thing, the ACB confirmation, that's going to happen, right? It's just a formality. I mean, it's done, you think?
Yeah, it's done because they got the votes. So that's the only thing that was happening is not having the votes, but they already got the votes, and that'll happen on Monday.
All right. And then the last thing I want to say, because I don't know any conservatives in my real life, if not for social media connections, I'd be drowning in my thoughts. So I just wanted to put my name out there because I have a YouTube channel, and I really want to reach out to any conservative moms who are homeschooling because we're not doing the BLM curriculum and all that other stuff. And I don't know, in the homeschooling world, if those are liberals or not. I have no clue, so I'm afraid to, ask other people there if they are conservative. So hoping that in your audience you have some homeschooling moms and they can connect with me. So I'll leave my info in the comments.
All righty, go ahead and shout it out right now because people like to hear it. Like they might hear it on the podcast later or not even be, watching the chat.
That's true. Okay, Sonia Scrapbook, and on Instagram it's Sonia_Scrapbook. So
how do I spell Sonia? Is that with a J or a Y?
With an I-A.
Okay. All righty, Sonia Scrapbook. So I'll put that in the comments. Thank you for the call as always. Definitely appreciate you.
You're welcome. Ciao for now. Bye.
All righty. So thank y'all for being here yet again. You guys are the best audience on the internet. and that is Sonia's SONIA' scrapbook. All right, let me go ahead and just copy the link. I think this is it right here. There we go. All right, and let's get to some more calls. 562, you on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Oh man, hey, what's up? This is Timothy from California. How you doing?
Everything's good, man. How about yourself?
Doing good, man. I was sitting here at work, looking at your video, and I was on Facebook and noticed that one of my friends posted about California passing a law having sex with minors. Have you heard anything about that?
Yeah. So this is what's going on. California already had kind of a crazy law. Now, in California, if there is a 10-year gap between an adult and a minor, and they engage in sex, you would still get locked up for it or face some kind of penalty if you don't go to the penitentiary. But you're not required to register as a sex offender. It was a 10-year gap.
Wow.
That was already there. That was already on the books. But if it was male to male, then you got to be a sex offender because of the sodomy rule. Okay, so the sodomy, that made it be a sex offense. So the 10-year thing didn't matter. But now they've removed the sodomy charge from the 10-year gap when you're talking about male to male. So if a man rapes a boy, or they say it's consensual, whatever it is, he could be 24. He can be 24. The boy can be 14. And he won't have to be a sex offender officially.
Oh my God! So basically, a 15-year-old wound up messing around with a 5-year-old. Then
no. Well, it's got to be. I don't know about the underage, but I'm talking about if it's under and over. So if the person is an adult and the person that they deal with is a child, that's something different. Now the 15 and 5, I'm not sure how that goes. I'm not sure if minors are treated as sex offenders when they do something like that. As far as officially, they might go to jail still. That's got to be clear. They still might go to jail. They should go to jail, but they won't be on a sex offender registry. Basically,
that is disgusting as hell, man.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Disgusting, man.
But you know what? The guy that put that on the books is a guy by the name of I think his name is Scott Wiener, and he been a pervert for a while. So this ain't no surprise.
So is Scott Wiener? That's the guy that's from San Francisco or something like that?
Well, he's from Philly originally, but he's in California.
Wow. And one more thing, man. You and Brandon and Kenneth Owens, you opened my eyes politically, man. And I really appreciate what you guys do.
Oh, ain't no problem, man. I'm just out here just bringing the truth to light. So I'm glad you're able to get some inspiration from that, for sure.
Exactly. Let me go and continue to make this money and watch your video. Thanks a lot for your help.
All right, thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
All right, bye.
All righty. So thank y'all again for being here. Yeah, that law is crazy. California, and they say as California goes, so does the nation. Hopefully not. Hopefully we don't have, the Scott Wieners and people like that in our area. And I think he's in San Mateo County, the guy Scott Wiener. That's part of San Fran. I'm not really sure of the exact location, but it's right out there in that general area. 704, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Oh, Steph, got through. How you doing today, Anthony?
Everything's good, man. Can't complain. About yourself?
I'm good, my man. It's Brennan from North Carolina. Just calling to thank you, man. I talked to you a while ago. This was a long time ago, man, but about how to approach family and stuff like that when it comes to politics and stuff like that. And how you just told me don't press it and stuff like that. But I still I ain't gonna lie, I got a question, man. It's still kind of hard, man. You know what I mean? As far as I guess talking to family about politics, and I know a lot of people now. I'm listening.
Now it's gonna be hard because, especially adults, because they already set in their ways. It's hard to convince an adult to think something differently. See, that's why I don't even really try to press. The most I might do is just leave little seeds on the ground. I just throw it on the ground right in front of them. But I'm not trying to really engage you into a debate, especially because with family, you got to be around them a lot sometimes. I mean, you might have, brothers, sisters, and cousins, and you got to be around them. You want to keep a relationship that's decent because that's your family. If it's just somebody on the street, I don't really care. But family members is a little bit different. So you just got to be kind of easy. If you want to get into that and you're not really worried about the backlash, then go for it. But there will be backlash, and you got to ask yourself, is it really worth it?
Definitely, yeah. Because like I said, it's. I guess my thing is like trying to, because I've been I've been a quote unquote Democrat my whole life, but I never really, been able to do my own research. Part in the background, I freaking just pulled it in the house. But to me, it's hard, I guess. And I know, like I said, I talked to you a while ago, and I've been getting more into it, but I guess I can't really. I don't know, man. It's hard. Like when you, how can I say it? I guess when you're surrounded by nothing but people who think opposite of you your whole life, I guess.
Oh no, I feel you. It can be isolating because you're the only one that feels the way you feel. Everybody is against you. Like you might go to a family member's house, and then it's 10 of y'all sitting there, and you're the only one that is conservative. They're all talking about how much they hate Trump and Joe Biden and everything else.
Yeah,
and you just got to sit there. I mean, I know I've been in them environments, but I look at myself as a superior person in that situation to not even bring up no politics, not even talk about it, because I'm doing a thing that is for them and for my own peace. I'm not trying to, get myself stressed out, and I'm not trying to get them into a confrontation. They feeling good talking about Joe Biden or whatever. Okay, that's fine. They can have that. I'm not trying to ruin that, and I'm not trying to bring stress on my own self.
Definitely. And then that's the part too, like when you bring up maybe like facts and evidence and like, oh man, no, that's not true. That's not true. CNN said this. And it's like, really? So you're not going to pull it up on your phone and pull up the article or look up this website? It's just,
they don't care. They don't because you're talking about old dog, new tricks. It doesn't really matter. You can have a whole PowerPoint presentation and it might not work. I heard about one person doing that. Shout out to you. You are. I forget your name right now, but they did that with their mother. But it was a one-on-one thing. It was kind of like, okay, let me sit down and talk to you. It wasn't just kind of like spur of the moment. I'm in the midst of everybody talking. I'm at a birthday party, and I'm gonna talk about, the Second Amendment. It's a time and place. If you might get one person by themselves, and if they're open and receptive to talking, that'd be different. But that kind of environment, especially but the truth regardless of what. And don't let their lack of ability to know the truth affect you at all.
Yeah, and I guess what spurred it was like, I was at my aunt's house the other day, and she like, oh, you got to wear a mask in my house. You got to wear a mask. And I'm like, it really wouldn't matter if I got a mask on or not. You know what I mean? I'm just coming to visit, like a family thing. My grandma was over there, so I'm like, hey, I'm going to stop in the neighborhood, see my grandma before, I go back home, whatever. It's like, oh, you got to have a mask. And I'm like, masks don't work. Oh, this, that, and that. So I'm like, what I was telling her was, I don't know if you've seen it. I'm pretty sure you didn't seen it. Like when Fauci was like, oh, masks don't work. Now he was like, masks work. I'm like, if it helps you, I guess. But no, then that's how we got into the whole spiel about it. And, my cousin didn't want to get into it. And I was like, I started thinking like, damn, sorry for the language. I started thinking like, dang, it's really a lot of people who are really ill-informed, who just don't care, I guess. They don't really care.
Right. Now I feel you.
No. So, well, thank you. I ain't going to hold you up, my man. I just I just wanted to get a little advice, as far as, where my head was at, and then as far as family or whatever. But thank you. I really do appreciate that. And I guess if anybody else out there listening, man, just don't be afraid. You know what I mean? Don't be afraid of what they say. Don't be afraid of what they do. Or, well, they can't really do much. But, just don't be afraid. Just be you. I mean, make America great. Keep making it great. Thank you, ABL. I love you. Y'all the greatest audience. And I guess I'm going to just go back and finish watching. Thank you, my man.
Thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
All right. Have a good one.
All righty. Great call. Great call. Let me get to another one here. Okay. 510, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
You give me 1 second. Sorry about that. Can you hear me?
I hear you well. What's happening?
Awesome, nice. How are you doing?
Everything's good, man. Can't complain about yourself.
Awesome, I'm doing well. I just wanted to say a little introduction. My name is Mo, and I'm from the Bay Area. 20 years old, raised, seen, surrounded by people screaming ACAB, and I was still able to see through all the BS. So it's just nice to have platforms like you where I could relate with my ideas while being surrounded by idiots around me. It's crazy being out here in the Bay Area with all these ideas being bounced back and forth. But the main thing I wanted to focus on asking you is, how do you think Trump can improve on this next debate tomorrow? Because I think the last one was atrocious. Because in my opinion, he was being a little immature, and I feel like there's a lot of things he could hammer that could easily sway votes towards him. But I don't know. I think the media. Well, honestly, I don't think he's going to lose to Joe Biden. If he's going to lose to anyone, it's the media. But yeah, what are your thoughts on that?
Well, all he's got to do is just let Joe Biden speak more. Just let him.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, just let him speak more. And he'll be able to, because Joe Biden can barely string two words together coherently. So the more he speaks, the more he exposes himself. He can just kind of take a seat back. Like, Trump is just trying to do too much work. He likes to work hard, go hard, but he can just do less. Less in this case is more.
Yeah. I think Biden's idea is the same exact thing. He's just letting Trump run his mouth and make people's emotions start surging. And he could easily just point out things that, like how Dems are just pandering and doing all this BS to minorities. I feel like it's so easy to point out, but the media's crazy as hell. So I hope it's a red landslide on the 3rd, but I'm looking forward to.
No doubt, absolutely. I think that we're going to have a good outcome. I think people on the left are going to be kind of upset at the results of this particular election. They're going to see some of the demographics for the turnout. They're going to be upset, but hey, they can't blame anyone other than themselves.
Yeah, no doubt. I know I don't fit the narrative. A 20-year-old raised in the Bay. It's
right.
Pretty foreign. I'm able to, most of my friends are not with it, but my close friends I've been able to flip around. So I'm happy with that. Show them the light. And I hope more people can see that.
Absolutely, man. Sounds great to me.
Yeah. Well, it's nice talking to you.
Oh, likewise, man. Likewise. Thank you for the call. Definitely appreciate you.
No problem. Have a good one.
Same to you.
Yep.
All righty. Let's get one more call here.
Hello.
Unknown caller, hello. Unknown caller, hello. Yes, who am I speaking to?
This is Abel from North Carolina.
All righty, man. What's going on?
Thank you for taking. So, I just want to know, your opinion of Trump's tweets. I agree with what Ben Shapiro says. If Trump could just put the phone down on Twitter and until the election and just let Biden talk, it would be great for him. But Trump does not put the phone down.
Well, number one, it's not even really Trump tweeting most of the time. It's his team he got around him. I've seen them too. It's at least one guy that does it the most, and then they have a whole team of people that really curate the tweets and they post. So it's not just him. That's the first thing. The second thing is worked so far. So if it ain't broke, don't fix it. It worked to get him in the election, to get him in there the first time. And I think it's also a way for him to communicate with people in a way that the media can't manipulate. They're trying to manipulate it on Twitter itself, but that's not really working because that's just drawing more attention to Twitter by censoring. So if you want stuff to get out there in a direct way, straight from the proverbial horse's mouth, I think the Twitter is the best thing because you can just read it and see it for yourself rather than waiting for the media to put a spin on it. And it's funny because even the media will try to edit the tweet live on there to fit whatever they want to make it be, which is ridiculous. It makes them look stupid because all I got to do is go read it for myself. So I say keep on tweeting. Really, it worked for the 2016 election. So, and the enthusiasm is through the roof more than it was in 2016. So I say keep on rocking.
Yeah, I feel like Trump like made politics like so much more involved in our lives, and it just like made it more exciting because after 2016, everything is political. Do you agree about that?
Yeah, I mean, I think things have become very political, especially like mainstream media, television. Things have become very political. I'm not sure about regular people in their everyday lives, but definitely when you're looking at it from the mainstream sense, it has for sure.
Yeah, and so in my city right now, like in Raleigh, I live in the suburbs, but like my family has a business in downtown Raleigh, and like a lot of New Yorkers are coming in, and a lot of people from Florida are moving in, and they're like a lot of liberals, and it's just like like North Carolina has become like a blue state, and like when like do you step in, like defend, like I have an Ethiopian restaurant. My family come from Ethiopia, and they have a restaurant, and it's just like there's windows smashed, and it's just like, when is the time to step in?
I mean, like, what do you mean step in?
Like defend yourself, like defend your property, because like the police, even the Raleigh chief of police said that property can be, the property can be replaced, and they won't defend it. So do you think like is a smart way to just stand in front of your property and defend it?
I mean, if it was me, that's what I would do. But I'm not really sure about Raleigh, Durham, that area. I'm not really sure what you can do there legally. But if it were me and I got a property, I'm gonna stand out in front and defend it. So I mean, that's all you really can do. That's what your man Cal Rittenhouse did. Unfortunately, he's got in a weird situation. But I think that I think that if it's your property and you're out there and everything's legit, I think you'd be totally fine, because what can be said is like, I'm out here, I'm defending my property. I come from, let's say you come from Ethiopia, right? Your family does.
Yeah. Yes.
So we're over here, we're living the American dream, we're defending our property. Like, what are we supposed to do? You see what I'm saying? So that's what I would do personally. But again, I don't know about the laws out there in Raleigh.
And it's like a lot of these like Black Lives Matter, like supporters. A lot of them say that they're educated, right? They like college educated, but they don't know that a Black Marxist, in Ethiopia, his name was Mengistu Haile Mariam. He was a Marxist dictator that killed over 2 million blacks. They don't know that. It's just crazy to me.
Yeah, it is. But
like,
go ahead.
And it's just like my family, like my family, when they hear communism and Marxist, because they live in the 80s, because that's where Mengistu Haile Mariam reign started, and it's just they could get flashbacks when they hear like communism and Marxism. They get a lot of flashbacks from that, and that's why they lean Trump. But we don't speak about it. We don't talk about politics that much. My family's like that.
Right, definitely. I mean, that's the best teacher right there is experience. If you've already had, experience with a communist person, a dictator, you don't want to go back to that. You come over here to escape that. You don't want to relive that. So it makes sense to me for sure. But people that are out there that have never experienced that, that are just ignorant, they'll learn. If they have a true experience with it, they'll learn the hard way.
Yeah. Okay. So, and I also want to get your attention on this. Like, I've been reading on have you ever heard of this Great Reset? I heard it on the Blaze. They were talking about the Great Reset from the World Economic Forum by Klaus Schwab. Have you heard about this?
I think I have heard about that, but I've not looked into it really.
You don't want to talk about it?
No, I mean, you can, but I just said that I've not looked into it. I don't know a lot about it. That's all I'm saying.
Okay, well, it's just kind of sketchy because they're talking about a lot of world government, and they're saying that they want to reset the economy and stuff like that. And I feel like a lot of this COVID thing has some foreknowledge to it, because I don't know if your audience is a part of the Blaze, is a crossover of the Blaze. I don't know if your audience crosses over, but I know that a lot of them are conservative. But I just want them to be educated on the Great Reset from in the World Economic Forum. So.
All right. Well, I'll look into it for sure. I'll check it out.
Yeah, I wish we would talk about that more. But man, like shout out to you, ABL. You're doing great, man.
Well, thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
Thank you.
All right. Great call. Great way to wrap up the show. Thank y'all for being here. Definitely appreciate you guys. If you couldn't get on, it's not my fault. You got to blame the white man. But seriously, okay. I got super chats to read, and then I wrap up the show. Again, thank y'all for joining. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. And if you're not subscribed yet, go ahead and subscribe for me. It is totally 1000% free. And when you subscribe, click the bell as well so you get notified whenever I go live and or post a new video. Alrighty. So let me go back to where I was when I left off. And where were we at? Let me see. Thank you to Shaheem Atkinson, who says, how can I get my dad to not view Trump as evil? He has conservative values but refuses to vote Trump. He thinks Joe is better option. I'm 25 and he's 50. That's a good question. All right. Now, like I said to the other caller a little while ago, the time to do this, if you really want to have the conversation, understand this. You don't want to do it when it's like a family function, everybody's around, they talking about Trump. You don't want to just interrupt that and then be confrontational. That's just going to lead to a fight for no reason. What you want to do is talk to him one-on-one. If you really want to have the conversation, talk to him one-on-one and, have all your facts ready and ask questions. Have all your facts ready. If he's like trying to fight you and trying to combat, then you might want to abort mission. But if he's open-minded and he's cool to talk, then you could talk. You might be able to, drop a few seeds in there and it might get something rolling. But if he's already going to be confrontational and trying to fight, then you're not going to get anywhere doing that. All you're going to do is make him upset and he's going to be triggered and butthurt. But if he's trying to talk, then you can have the conversation. I got family too where they don't even want to talk to you at all. Like I was telling you guys before, I was talking to my dad and my cousin, which is my dad's cousin, my dad's first cousin, on the phone recently. And we having a good conversation. And I happened to mention something about politics. I was talking about Juneteenth being a federal holiday, and that was a mistake. My dad was cool. My dad, he was cool as a feather. He didn't trip. He was understanding where I was coming from, and he was trying to defend me. Although my dad is a liberal, politically, socially conservative, but that's a different story. My cousin went off. He went off. He was tripping. That's the difference. My cousin is not ready for that conversation. My dad is. So you got to understand who you're dealing with to have the conversation first before you even go into it. And if he goes to the part of tripping and cussing, abort mission. All right. Thank you to Not a Boy, who says, I'm slow today. Is it Patreon to become a member of your squad? Logan Tatum 24, Owens, press secretary. Thank you, wifey, and the squad for the truth. Thank you for your donation. You can become a member of the squad straight through YouTube. That's how you become a member of the squad. If I could link it to where you could become a member of both at the same time, I'd do it, but I don't see a functionality for that. Thank you to Pat Hellum for your donation, who says, just a donation. Thank you to Kim Sutton, who says, ABL, if Congress members had all their income slashed, do you think they would have already pushed the second round of stimulus through? Thanks for all you do. That's a very good question. I think that if that happened, they'd probably be motivated to do something, for sure. But you know what? The funny part is that a lot of them make monies outside of their actual money, if that makes any sense. Like, they have their Congress pay, but they're doing some quid pro quo on the side. Ilhan Omar specifically. Okay, let's talk about Ilhan Omar just for a moment. Ilhan Omar was married to a few men. I'm not even lying. First, it was a guy that she was not legally married to, but her actual husband that she got kids with and everything else. They got almost adult kids. You understand? At least one kid is almost an adult, about to go into college, right? And she was married to somebody else legally that allegedly is her brother. And that's for immigration purposes. To get him over here, to get him a green card or whatever. She did that for that, allegedly. Then you have the newest guy, a white man. The other guys are Somali, like she is. You have a whole white man named Tim Mynett. Now, Tim Mynett is a consultant for her campaign. And it came out recently that she gave 2/3 of all her campaign money to Tim Mynett for consulting fees. Now, how do you get almost 70% of someone's campaign money just to one company? Okay, she's married to that guy now, Tim Mynett. So if you're paying the monies to a consultant, right, for who knows what, you can easily get that money back in your pocket. Why not? You're giving it to him through his company, right back to you. You see? So my point behind that is they can have their income slashed from the federal government, but they're still getting monies through the campaign, through the so-called consulting. It's guys that are doing that right now, running for office, but I won't say nobody's name, so I digress. All right, thank you to Michael Bon Fleet. Michael B. I'm gonna tear your name up, so I will just leave that alone. Thank you to New York. Thank you to him. He says New York Times has an article on Trump and the black model he dated in '98. They asked multiple black people in a circle, and all say he's colorblind. Exactly. Yeah, Trump was never seen as a racist. Trump will be in all the shows, all the parties, hanging out with everybody. Chaba Ranks, Super Cat, Tony Terry, Mike Tyson, everybody. Michael Jordan, whoever. Puff, 50. He was just a New York rich guy that everybody liked, that everybody wanted to be like. Nobody ever said he was racist, ever, up until 2015 when he became the guy that was running to become the Republican president. Then all of a sudden he's racist. Out of nowhere. 70-something years old and for the very first time being called a racist. How'd that work? Yep. Okay. Shout out to my man Killer Sushi 99 who says, can we talk about quote driving Biden rally? Who thinks listening to cars honk their horns inspires people? I think is annoying as heck. Yeah, very annoying. Extremely annoying. Not wavy at all. Thank you to RS Holt who says, God help Texas. These perverted Hollywood people want to turn Texas blue. Not only no, but H no. Thank you for that. Sushi, again, thank you for your donation. He says, I was kind of stunned when Joe said that he supports an 8-year-old saying they are trans. They tried to say Joe is moderate. That's not moderate. No, it's not. Not at all. If you have an adult that want to be transgender, that's something different. But an 8-year-old little kid, I think not. I said that when I was on the Jubilee, when I was over in LA earlier in the year. I was like, look, if you have an adult that wants to do that, then that should, you could do whatever you want to do. You could become Bruce Gender when you become 18 years old. If you want to identify as a Power Ranger, if you want to identify as a box of Legos, whatever you want to identify as, you have the right to do that. As an adult, I'm not going to stop you. All right. I'm not going to play along with your game. I'm not going to address you as a Lego block, but different story. An 8-year-old little kid talking about your transgender? No way. Because if you say that you're transgender, are you gay? And what does being gay mean? That's your sexual preference. How do 8-year-old kids have sexual preferences? With who? What are we talking about here? But I digress. All right. So thank you to Dr. Patriot who says, Mr. Anthony, I've been following you for quite some time, and I can't be more proud of your accomplishments. Please keep awakening our fellow brothers and sisters. Patriots worldwide, God bless. Doc. Thank you for that, man. Definitely appreciate you. And that was Dr. Patriot with the super chat. Thank you to Angry Engineers who says the chips are on the table. Everyone sees what's going on. The American people want and need justice. Kathleen Maddox, thank you for your donation. She says, I need to move from a blue state and want to move to a very red state and city. What do you recommend? That's a good question. Tennessee is great. I'm out here in Tennessee. I love it. East Tennessee is good. You can go to Nashville, but don't live in Davidson County. That's the heart of the city. Go on the outskirts, and it also depends on what kind of money you got. If you want to go to Nashville and you move to Williamson County, you need to have a lot of money in your pocket. Just bring some California money out there because you might need it. That's where all the country stars are at. You can live in Murfreesboro. I say find you a smaller city. Okay, if you're going to go to a big metropolis, then forget about it. Go to a smaller city. You can have some amenities of a big city, but not with all the extra stuff. Okay, you're not going to have a Broadway or nothing like that. But if you got an airport and you got access to bigger cities, like where I live, it ain't far from Atlanta and Nashville, is good. But I live in a smaller area. So you need something like that in your life. Anywhere, Tennessee, Texas is still good, regardless of what they say. Georgia, not Atlanta. Florida is good, actually. Where else? Alabama, Mississippi. Where else is good? You can live. Arizona is good, from what I hear. You guys in the comments know more than I do. Kentucky is still good. Louisville might be a little sketchy right now because of the Breonna Taylor thing, but Kentucky is good. It all depends on what you want and what kind of life you want to have and what kind of money you're dealing with. But definitely living towards the South, it'd be low cost of living for sure and more conservative. Let me see. Thank you to Charles Turner Jr., who says, in my home state of Washington, it seems like there is a good chance we might elect our first GOP governor in 40 years. President Trump might ride on his coattails. Oregon might go red too. Hey, hopefully it does. Hopefully it does. It also, oh yeah, I almost forgot the Dakotas, of course. The Dakotas, out there with Christy Nome, South Dakota, that's good. Idaho, Utah. You can live out there in that Colorado, maybe. I don't know, Colorado, because of Denver with the drugs and stuff like that. But definitely Nevada. Yep. You can live in Vegas. Now, if you're living in Arizona, Nevada, New Mexico, that heat ain't no joke. That heat is something else. I mean, that desert heat, oh my goodness. Be ready for that. But on the flip side, if you have asthma or something like that, it'd be easier on your lungs because you don't have the pollen out there. But I'll move right along. Thank you to Holly T. Lightwork, who says the economist said 62%, not 50. He was quoting them. Thank you to 172 Gates, who says no more limeys. Thank you to Me versus Earth, who says ABL, the audio changes volume levels, mono and such. Review this caller portion. Have you properly grounded your equipment? Now, is that my microphone or is that theirs? Okay, so I don't know. Maybe it's a microphone. It should be down mixed to mono all the time. I mean, it should be stereo all the time is what I'm saying. So if it does that, then it's a software issue. But I'm going to check it out. Thank you to 172 Gates, who says, how many people were killed by BLM? Good question. Thank you to Dojo Joseph, who says, FBI just released that the Hunter Biden laptop is linked to an FBI money laundering investigation. Thank you to Zen Christopher, who says, love you, ABL. Cal Denson says, did you see the Miami cop that got suspended for an account on voter intimidation because he was wearing a Trump mask at a voting area in Miami on duty? I did see that. That's unfortunate he got suspended. So I want to see what the rules are on wearing your political mask. I definitely want to see that. Because that might be a thing. Like if a cop was to have on the BLM mask and they got suspended, then I will understand. So shout out to him for being brave though and wearing the mask. I think he knows who has it back and who doesn't, but I digress. Thank you to Champ Owens, who says, ABL, love your streams. I'm out here in Hawaii pushing Hawaii to turn red. The movement out here for Trump is absolutely crazy. Never seen Hawaii come out and support any president except for Trump. Orestes Mohawk says, where we go one, we go all. Thank you to Scott Sagiski. I know I tore it up, but I'm sorry. Sagiski says, hold on. Where was I at? Oh, ABL, the love is strong tonight. I can feel it. Shout out to Ben 918-27364, who says, keep up the good work. Charles Turner Jr. says, ABL, just to throw this out, do you know what is up with John Miller of the White House Brief? He made a video. He last made a video on March 12th. I remember he was a Black Leadership Summit last year too. I don't know. I've seen him tweet, so I don't know what happened to the White House Brief. That probably was not a show that he owned. So he might have been working for a particular company and they might have stopped doing it. That's why I say, you always got to have your own thing. Don't rely on a company to get you out there because they may say, okay, it's not profitable. It ain't working. We're just going to go ahead and cut you. And then you just out back. So hopefully he's able to resume that, whatever he was doing. Thank you to Lily, who says, Project Veritas is throwing out videos at an insane pace the past few weeks. Makes me smile every time. Yeah, I love it. Shout out to Project Veritas. And thank you to Margie Smiles, who says, ABL, thank you for your another great podcast. Good vibes here tonight. I would like to know, what do you think about SEAL Team 6 and why that is not as important as Hunter's laptop murder of 30? Yeah, I don't know a lot about that, to be totally honest with you. But all these things that are going on are being swept up under the rug. That's what's happening. They don't want to talk about it because it makes them look bad on the left. Charles Turner Jr. says some good red cities in Colorado, Colorado Springs, Greeley, Grand Junction, Denver, and Boulder are ran by liberals. Okay, so he was saying Colorado Springs is good, Greeley and Grand Junction are good, but Denver and Boulder ran by liberals. Got it. And thank you to Mixed Girl POV for the super chat emoji. saying keep it up. Thank you for your donation. Most certainly appreciate you. All right. That's all I got for now. All right. And Urban Samurai, the show is every Wednesday and Saturday. That's if I don't have to go travel or something like that. But I'm back on my normal routine. So the live show is Wednesday and Saturday. And I'll be streaming live tomorrow. Either I'll be here streaming in the debate or I'll be on Brandon Tatum's channel. Probably streaming in the debate. But the thing I got to do is find a good source. If they're talking about, oh, it's only going to be on CNN or something crazy like that, I'm not going to be able to do it because they're going to strike me and it's going to be all bad. So I'm going to try to find a way to stream it and have my stream stay up without getting striked and affecting my channel at all. So we'll see about that coming up here tomorrow. And the next show will be Saturday at 8 p.m. Eastern. And that's every Saturday and every Wednesday, 8 p.m. Eastern, right here live on the show. So shout out to the mods. Bill from the Hills, thank you. Killer Sushi, thank you. Charles Hunter Jr., Zeno2 Kane Sword, Liza Jean. True Helper, I saw you here earlier. Thank you for doing what you do. You guys are great. Couldn't do it without you. And shout out to Daniel M, who says, we have to get you on Timcast in real life with Tim Pool, my man. Hey, I love to do it. Y'all tell him about me. Tell him, hey, get ABL on the show. I'd love to do it. That'd be a good show for me to be on. All right. So that's all I got for now. So until next time, y'all be safe. I'm out. And peace.